What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Buffalo Binge. But this is our live version, first ever episode of doing a live coverage of the NFL draft. And we are happy to have you tag along. To get us started today, it's just me and our producer Greg. So, Greg, if you can hear me right there, just pop up on the screen. Let the crowd see you, man. How you doing today?
Good, man. How's it going today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's a day that we all wait for as football fans, right? We're done looking at all the mock drafts. I think I've read over about 80 to 100 of them, honestly, since they started. So I'm just glad that all that hype train stuff is over and it's time to get down to business and see where these kids land.
Absolutely, man. I'm really excited. I'm glad to kind of actually get a turn on the mic. It's been a little while. As you can see, I'm decked out in my Giants gear and I am ready, man. It's exciting, dude. It's one of the most exciting times of the year. Everybody's got a chance, man, and you get to kind of see where your franchise is really heading. I bet for you, you can remember where you were when that man on your back got drafted, and you can see how much that's changed your franchise in the past 3-4 years.
Oh, absolutely. The draft is everything to me, and the Buffalo Bills for sure. I mean, when Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott first came over to take on this task of rebuilding the Buffalo Bills, I mean, the first things they said were you got to rebuild through the draft, and that's not something that the Bills were used to at that point. We made a lot of crappy draft picks, to be honest with you, and it was just it's been good to watch a new regime come in here and kind of you feel confident in what they're doing. So it's definitely exciting this year in particular, though, because I can't remember the last time we were at 30. I know last year we were pretty high when we traded our pick to the Minnesota Vikings, but to be up in the end of the first round the past couple of years has been a pleasant surprise and something that I think as Bills fans we're not very used to.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
it's definitely a change of pace. I mean, I can't really quite say the same. I mean, the Giants have been in the front half of the draft for we're probably looking almost at 10 years now. I mean, we won the last Super Bowl in 2012, so I mean, it's been at least
what
nine.
was that at the end there? You said.
I was just saying. Yeah, I can move my mic closer. I appreciate it, man. I just don't want to be screaming in my mic, is all. But yeah, no, it's been a while for the Giants. We've been at the front end of the draft for about the past 8-9 years now, and I think we are about to get started. Nope, not quite yet. False alarm. I've got it streaming here, so I'm ready for whenever that first pick is announced. Although we kind of already know what's going on. Do you want to get into that, or what are you thinking?
Well, see, I'm ready to speculate, but our other host here just showed up. Eric Graham is in the building, so if we want to get set up here, Greg, why don't you send us off on a little intermission here, and then we'll get situated here on our end.
Yeah, no problem. I just want to thank James real quick. I can see he's already in the chat. He says he's glad we're doing this. So apologize, James, but we are going to take a quick break right now just to get Graham situated before the draft gets going too quick. So we will be back after this.
James is already.
All right, we are back from that intermission. Graham is finally in the house, and we're happy to have him. Obviously, the show is not the same without him here. So, Graham, happy to have you here, buddy. Uh, it's draft day. You excited, dude?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm freaking out. I'm wondering what the Bills are gonna do. The rumor is that they're gonna trade up for a running back. I don't know.
Oh boy.
We've talked about them possibly trading out. We've talked about them taking a defensive end.
Yep.
They've talked about who'd you pick in our pre-draft coverage last week?
I was just
linebacker?
anywhere in between linebacker, corner. If my dream pick was there, it's Caleb Farley at 30 from Virginia Tech, but he won't be there. There's a lot of talks of the Saints trading up into the top 10 to pick him up.
Damn.
So I'm just curious to see how it all unfolds. With all the mock drafts that I've read, man, I'm just ready to get it going because all these experts and everything, you know, I've heard so many people on the radio too, just talking and saying, you know, how many times are the experts, you know, actually right? And everybody takes these mock drafts so seriously up to this point. And sometimes there's a nice slide like is it Darius Hayward Bay? Is that the guy I keep remembering from the Raiders that they took? Yeah. So I mean, it's you get picks like that, or you get Larry
he didn't really
slide in.
I would say Darius Hayward Bay doesn't really count. They picked him because he was the fastest guy in the draft.
Well, that's
because he was highly touted.
Well, that's what he's saying. Like people can switch it up at the drop of a hat. I've been thinking like this whole time, like I think pick number 3 and pick number 4 is going to really just change the scope of this draft. Depending on what the 49ers and what the Falcons do, it could really change what the rest of that first half of that first round even looks like. Before, I do want to kind of just change gears real quick. There is some big NFL news, and I want to get into it before the picks start rolling in.
Absolutely.
Allegedly, Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay. It's come out today that Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay. Did you guys hear anything of that?
Yeah. Adam Schefter reported that. Right?
I saw a little bit about it today. I was busy, as you two know. I came from school tonight. Last night at school. Officially a journeyman. What?
Congratulations.
Yep.
We're back.
Starts Monday that I get my raise. I'm excited about it. But, yeah, I saw that on scrolling through Facebook while I was at school tonight. And it makes me wonder, is that coming from Aaron Rodgers' side or is that coming from the Packers' side? Maybe the Packers are trying to fish for a little bit of trade bait here on draft day.
It's allegedly coming right from Aaron Rodgers himself. Adam Schefter did report that reigning MVP Aaron Rodgers is disgruntled enough that he's had conversations with people in the organization.
That's wild, man.
I guess they've been trying to like fix the relationship with him for a while, ever since last year with the draft. Who did they take that quarterback?
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, right.
And we were all like, man, is this the end of Rodgers? And then they said during the offseason that Rodgers was being a great mentor to this kid, that it wasn't a big deal. And now we're back to the
drama.
the drama in Green Bay. And honestly, if Aaron Rodgers is available, you could get a lot for an Aaron Rodgers.
Bro, could you imagine? He still played at an MVP caliber level last year. He wants to go host. James Strasburg just commented he wants to go host Jeopardy.
It's true. He's been on it. He does a good job there. He doesn't have to play football anymore. Like that's the thing. He's the MVP. He's got the Super Bowl. If he's not happy in Green Bay, he really doesn't have to play. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is okay with taking a year off in Green Bay just to prove a point.
Did you watch any of that Jeopardy with him?
I watched clips.
Boring, bro.
Boring.
He's just very monotoned, and like he tries to be funny, but he's not very funny.
I mean, it's also not his first gig.
Yeah.
Right, and I agree. It just kind of reminds me of like the State Farm commercials with him. Like he's got more personality in those than he does in hosting Jeopardy.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, he was probably a little nervous. I mean, that's the shoes because I believe those were the first episodes since Alex Trebek passed away. So between having to fill his shoes and like the pressure of being on a show compared to a recorded commercial, I mean that's a big difference. But yeah, no. So he wants to move. We'll see how that impacts the draft, if it impacts the draft tonight. It's crazy because, like Graham was saying, with how close it was to draft night, like we're gonna see like if teams really have a time to react or not.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. It's going to be really interesting to see if somebody pulls the trigger tonight on Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, would you?
Not as a Bills fan,
Not
come to Buffalo, or
not
what do you
to come
mean?
to Buffalo, but like if you're like the Washington Redskins,
Yes.
or
Yes.
a QB needy team, like even right now, what about the 49ers?
I think the rumor is
that
the
would be
49ers
interesting.
have already offered a third, Jimmy G, and a second in next year's draft, and they denied the trade.
To Green Bay.
Yes, for Aaron Rodgers.
See, yeah,
That's just the rumor, though.
That would be so interesting just for the fact of the 49ers passed on Aaron Rodgers back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
Did you guys see what Kyle Shanahan said too? By the way, sorry, I'm sorry. We'll get into that in a minute.
the last thing I was just going to say, I don't think it's whether a team wants to pull the trigger on Aaron Rodgers. I think it's more so, are the Packers willing to trade him? I think that's the bigger question, because they're getting caught off guard by this just like everybody else is. I don't even know if they're willing to trade him.
I guess the Packers have said that they want to repair the relationship with Aaron Rodgers and that he's a Packer.
Have they said that since
they
this came out, though? I know that was their stance basically for the past year, but have they made a comment? Do you know, Graham?
I don't know if they've made a comment today, but I know that that's been the consistent thing. Anytime something has come up with Aaron Rodgers this year, that's what they have said.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I kind of saw this coming. Now that I think about it, when they were in the playoffs and the coach decided to kick that field goal and not go for the touchdown.
Oh yeah, and he looked disgruntled.
Aaron Rodgers was pissed off.
Yes.
He's like, dude, I am literally at the top of my game right now. If you think I'm not making this play, you're out of your mind. And
Yeah.
it costed them their push in the playoffs, and that was a Packers team that was hot. That Packers team could have played anybody and gave them a run for their money. So maybe if Aaron Rodgers,
Devontae Adams was popping off.
yeah, if Aaron Rodgers is unhappy, you don't keep an unhappy Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers can kind of dictate his future at this point with his pedigree and everything he's done. He has nothing to lose by holding out. He has nothing to lose by not showing up.
Yeah.
So it's something where if you're the Packers, you're wondering if this report is serious, if you've actually had communications with Aaron Rodgers and he's saying, I want out, you look right now. And if the 49ers are fishing, why the hell wouldn't you go up to number 3 and get a Jordan Love competition, or just get a playmaker?
Are the 49ers
up at
3 or 4?
They just
They're
traded
3.
up to 3. So that's something.
I hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that
That's
was the trade with the Dolphins before the Dolphins
Dolphins,
traded
yeah.
back up.
Oh, I thought they made it to 4.
Nah, they were 3. They were 3 the whole time.
So I'm interested to see if they pull that trigger. If you're the Packers and that's true, you pull the trigger. You get what you can now, because if he holds out, I mean, the value of Aaron Rodgers is just going to go down. It's another year on his age column. It's a year not played. So if it's serious, you trade, and you trade right now.
So you think
Aaron
do you
Rodgers,
think the 49ers are the ones that are going to be pulling the trigger? I really like your idea of the Washington football team. I must call them
I think Rodgers, if anything, the Packers would have to trade him to number 3, because you're still getting 2 first-round picks for Rodgers, in my opinion, and probably more.
I mean, he's the reigning MVP.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you say that Aaron Rodgers isn't worth a minimum of a first-round pick or 2?
Right.
And especially if Deshaun Watson they're valuing Deshaun Watson at what, like 3 or 4 first-round picks.
Right.
The guy just won an MVP.
Matt Stafford just went to the Rams for a ridiculous deal. Like, if you're comparing those, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the 49ers, they're instantly Super Bowl contenders. Like they have the defense there.
I think any team that Aaron Rodgers goes
Yeah.
to is instantly a Super Bowl contender.
And you're probably a contender. I mean, Aaron Rodgers probably has three. He hasn't shown any signs of slowing down. Probably has a good 3-4 years left. I mean, that's worth 2 first-round picks to me.
Yeah,
If you're the
I
49ers
agree.
and you're Kyle Shanahan and you want to save your head coaching future, you go out and you trade for Aaron Rodgers if he's available.
Are we gonna see kind of what happened to Brett Favre with Aaron Rodgers? You think, where he ends up bouncing around the league for the last few years of his career?
Interesting thing about that, a stat came out after these alleged, I think they're still at this point, alleged comments came out. No Green Bay quarterback has played more than 16 years for the Green Bay Packers.
How many years has Rodgers played for the
Bart
Packers?
Starr and Brett Favre, I think it was Bart Starr, both played 16 seasons. Rodgers just completed his 16th season.
Oh, wow. Conspiracy in Green Bay.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. That maybe this is the Packers releasing this information, trying to get somebody to bite on trading for Aaron Rodgers on draft day.
Well, I'm just, if I understand that teams at the top, they want to get their young future, but if you're Kyle Shanahan and you've been dying for a quarterback to lead this offense with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk now, and you have some of the fastest running backs in the league.
Yeah, you got Raheem Mostert and that stable of running backs.
No,
it's a three-headed monster basically.
Yeah. No matter who you bring in as a rookie, will not even be half the player, a quarter of the player of Aaron Rodgers in their first 2 seasons.
I mean,
if you're Kyle Shanahan,
unless the Packers are asking,
unless
the Packers are just asking too much, maybe they want 2 first-rounders and maybe another receiver like a Brandon Ayuk or a Deebo Samuel.
Honestly, if the Packers were asking for 3 first-round picks, I'm considering.
So, did you guys see what Kyle Shanahan said in his media thing the other day?
No.
When he was asked if they were looking to trade Jimmy Garoppolo or if Jimmy Garoppolo would be on the roster starting the year, he said, "Well, everybody nobody's permanent and people." Everybody dies, basically, is what he said.
Mm-hmm. It was something along the lines of everybody could be dead by Sunday for all we know, or something like dark like that.
It
sounds like a comment we would make.
Yes, and I loved it, but at the same time, it's clear to me that he is ready to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo. Whether it's a trade, whether it's drafting a quarterback in this year's draft and having him kind of learn from Jimmy Garoppolo, I think that he's ready to move on, and if this rumor is true about Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to try to convince John Lynch, the GM, to do whatever he's got to do to make it happen.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. If you're Kyle Shanahan right there, you're not going to get a quarterback that's even close to Aaron Rodgers' pedigree in this league.
No.
So if you want to save your head coaching career and you want to make the 49ers relevant again in the West, then go.
Well, I mean, they were relevant this year, but they were also that division is extremely hard. All 4 of those teams are a contender at any point in the year.
Yep.
And it's basically whoever wins the tiebreakers at that point in their own division.
Well, we'll definitely keep you updated on the Aaron Rodgers train.
What up, Paul?
If he's going to be used to move up in the draft for the Green Bay Packers or not.
Hi, Max.
But on the clock are the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's some fun reports coming out of Jacksonville, actually.
Are they on
Tim
the clock
Tebow.
now?
Yep,
Yeah.
Tim Tebow is going to be trying out for tight end. And Greg, you told me about this. How would you feel about seeing Tim Tebow? I know it's not a big deal. Tim Tebow's time in the NFL is done, usually,
maybe
for most people. But to see a reemergence of Tim Tebow in the league at tight end for Jacksonville, just to play for Urban Meyer, how do you think that would unfold for him?
I mean, I don't know. He's been out of the league so long, it's going to be hard to tell. But I saw that and I was like, why would this even happen? Then I did. I remembered that Urban Meyer was his coach, and so I wonder if he's coming back just to play with Urban Meyer. But like I said, it's been so long. He was playing baseball for a few years, so it'll be tough to see what exactly Tim Tebow can be.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that Tim Tebow just doesn't like to be out of the limelight? Like he did amazing things in college. The guy won 2 or 3 national championships with Florida.
He won enough.
Comes to the NFL, and people say he's going to be a nobody. Ooh, kitty cat flying in.
Pass cat coming.
Saying that he's not going to make it because his arm mechanics are trash and he's not a good passer. But he goes out and he wins a playoff game in his rookie season. Takes Denver into the playoffs in the first place.
Beat Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, beat Pittsburgh on that crazy overtime play.
Mm-hmm.
The one good pass of the year from him, basically.
A slant.
Yes, but he then moves on and he goes to play Double-A baseball in the Mets organization.
Yep.
I believe he made it to Triple-A. If I'm not mistaken.
I think he actually made it. Yeah, to Triple-A.
Yeah,
AAA.
I think it was Triple-A. But every news article about Tim Tebow was after he left the NFL was about how he was raising ticket sales in minor league baseball.
Yeah.
This guy, does he just like to be in the limelight, and that's why he's now retiring from baseball and coming back to football?
So, yeah, I don't really know because Tim Tebow, I don't feel like has to play football to be recognized or successful. I think he's a pretty good announcer for the football networks he works for. I think he does a lot of college football.
Yes.
I mean, so I don't know. I think it's hard to kill old habits, and if you love the sport for so long, you know, it kind of always irks you in the back of the head, like, well, what if? So maybe this is just a what if for him. Maybe it's just like, you know, I'd rather say I tried and fail than not try at all. I mean, if he feels like he's physically capable of playing the sport for a couple more years at tight end, I mean, all power to him. I think that's what it is.
James is saying he doesn't think he's making the team.
No.
And that he was Denver's worst pick. I don't think he's Denver's worst pick.
He might have been. James is a Broncos fan.
I know he's a Broncos fan, but I don't think he's the worst pick that they've had.
I don't know.
Brock Osweiler's pretty bad. Tim Tebow won
they had
a playoff
Trevor
game.
Siemian too.
Yeah, Trevor Siemian's pretty bad. So
Drew
the Broncos,
isn't looking very good
the
either.
Broncos have. I don't know what's going on with John Elway out there in Denver, but he just can't find a quarterback.
You know,
he had Manning. That was it.
They keep putting a lot of pressure on him too to find that quarterback, which is rightfully so. You need a quarterback to win in this league.
I can't believe Denver hasn't tried to move up.
They might. Hey, fast kitty. Good, she's gonna not go. Hey, if the stand goes topside, we're going to intermission.
Yes.
The cats are fighting.
The cats are going crazy.
These guys are like
tonight.
rocket ships. All right.
But back to what I was saying about what James said.
Hold on. Sorry. The pick is in for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The 2021 NFL Draft is finally starting with
who could it be?
Jacksonville Jaguars taking the mystery pick.
I think that's copyrighted.
Lawrence, right?
I bet you this guy looks like Sunshine from.
Dude, that's what I've been saying for years.
Are we able to pull this up on your computer real quick, like the live?
The actual draft.
Well, no, just turn the volume off.
No, like we don't.
No, like we can't. ESPN blocks everything.
You can't stream it on
Nope.
On Spectrum.
No.
You have Spectrum.
I don't have Spectrum. I only have Spectrum Internet.
Well, use my Spectrum.
All right, I'll use your Spectrum.
I'm muting real quick, Greg.
Yeah.
Speak to our fellow bingers here.
No problem. I mean, while Graham and AY take care of that, as they're laughing and just having a grand old time.
Laughing at you, Greg. Laughing at you. Buddy.
I appreciate it. I love.
Out our producer.
I love being put on the spot when I haven't been on the camera in like 4 weeks.
Well,
just kidding,
I'll
like
talk
4
to you
months.
For a minute while he tries to load this up. Back to what I was saying with James, though. I really think that Tebow has a shot at making this team just because of the Urban Meyer connection. That's basically it. So if you want to play off that, Greg, feel free.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if that's even possible. I think, James, I think you're right. I think, and the pick has officially been made. Trevor Lawrence is the first overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft. He will be going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like I said, there's a really big surprise there. I mean, he's been the number 1 overall pick for the past 2 years now. They expected him, so... Did you guys hear that?
Everybody's had him on their draft board all year as going number 1, and the kid, he's got the looks of a starting quarterback. He's got the pedigree now. I remember watching him on Gruden's Grinders a few years back, or maybe it wasn't Gruden's Grinders. It was something on NFL Network where they had all these high high school recruits. They came in and they did like a quarterback camp with John Gruden,
Yeah.
and he was one of the kids there. It was cool.
Nice.
It's definitely interesting to see that this kid has developed into a quality quarterback, and I'm really thinking that he is going to do very well in Jacksonville. I don't really think that he's going to look good in a Jacksonville uniform. I think he'd look much better in like a Washington uniform, personally. Yeah, I know. I see that looking crazy. Yeah, well,
Trevor Lawrence in a Washington uniform was like ugly.
I think
anybody in a Washington, as a Giants fan, I can absolutely say anybody in a Washington jersey looks bad.
Who knows? Maybe there's something crazy going on tonight. Well,
How good?
Maybe we'll have another.
I want to ask you
and Phillip Rivers thing going on.
Jeez, I want to ask you guys a question though. I guess I can turn this off as well. How good can Trevor Lawrence be? Like, there's so much pressure on a number 1 overall pick to produce. How good do you guys really think he could be with the team around him in Jacksonville?
So honestly, I think Trevor Lawrence is built for this, and he's been the highly touted recruit ever since his high school days. Number 1 recruit coming out of high school, had a lot of hype around him then. They were already talking about him possibly being the number 1 draft pick in the NFL before he was even in college. And when he had all that pressure on him going to a no-joke school like Clemson and succeeding, you can't really ask anymore for the kid. And I think going into the NFL is not going to be hard, that hard of a transition. I think this game slows down for him. I think this is a quarterback where he has that mantra about him that makes everybody around him better. And going along with that, he just makes the game slower, it looks like, and he can really read the field and dissect defenses and hit you where it hurts. So I'm excited to see Trevor Lawrence in the NFL. I think he is going to be extremely successful. The only thing I worry about is he going to be standing behind 5 guys who can keep him upright for 3 seconds?
Yeah, that'll definitely be a big thing. What about you, Graham?
I'm 100% with you on that last thing you said, because I think that this kid is better than Joe Burrow, and it would be a shame if the same thing happened to him this year in his rookie season. Out of all the quarterbacks to go number 1 in the last 5 years, we'll say, in my opinion, it goes Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, maybe Baker Mayfield, and then Kyler Murray. Mm-hmm. And then other than that, what do you got? You got Jared Goff, who or was it Carson Wentz? Which one of them went first in that draft? I don't remember.
I'm pulling it up now. I can tell you in a second. Jared Goff was the number 1 overall pick. Yeah, I mean,
so the Jets traded up to or they didn't trade up. They're the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
I'm all mixed up right now. I keep thinking that the Jets are number 3 and the 49ers are number 4.
Who's number 2? Giants?
The Jets are number 2.
No, I know the Jets are.
I'm
so
all messed up.
Yeah, so I mean, like you were saying though, like the previous they already updated the wiki article on the number 1 overall picks.
The number 1 pick was confirmed to be
Trevor Lawrence when you were getting logged in there, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, and Jameis Winston. Those were the last 5 number 1 overall picks that were quarterbacks.
Jameis Winston. I would say Jameis Winston is way better than Jared Goff, personally.
And who was before Goff?
Before Goff was Winston. After Goff was Baker Mayfield.
I would say Baker's the best out of all of them.
Better than Joe Burrow?
I would take Baker over Joe Burrow.
I think that Joe Burrow has better intangibles than Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
And I think that Trevor Lawrence has better intangibles than any of them.
Yeah.
At least that's my personal opinion. I'm really thinking that Trevor Lawrence is going to come in and he's going to turn that team right around.
What's right around? 8-8? Or I guess it would be 8-9 or 9-8 because there's 17 games this season.
I guess if you
there's no 8 and that's weird. There's no more 8-8.
8-8 this year.
Yeah, there's no more 8-8 in the NFL unless you go 8-8-1.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's strange. Yes, there's no more 9-7 seasons.
Well, no more 9-7. It'll be 9-8. Yeah, that's really weird.
If you win 9 games, you still might not make the playoffs now.
Right.
There might be a team that's got like 9-7-1 or 10-8 or 10-7.
Yeah, 10-7.
I wonder how that's going to unfold. That'll be.
That's
cool to
interesting.
watch how
Well,
the
and especially
season
between
unfolds.
that and the extra playoff team that started last year, it's going to make the playoff races really interesting this year. It'll be crazy to kind of see how that all works out.
So I got a quick question here for you guys. The Jets are obviously on the clock right now. Pick 2.
Pick is in,
AFC
actually.
East. Everybody, what's that?
Pick is in. I'll let you know when it's
Oh,
announced.
the pick is in. All right, cool. Graham, do you think they're going to be going defense here to stop
No,
Josh Allen, or are they going after their?
they're
boy?
going. No, they're going for.
They're going for their boy. What quarterback you want?
I think they're taking. I personally, I know you guys are going to say Zach Wilson.
I don't even know.
I'm thinking Justin Fields.
You're thinking Justin Fields?
I think Justin Fields is the more pro-ready quarterback, and now that they've traded Darnold to the Panthers, you need a guy that's going to be more pro-ready.
Yeah,
because they didn't really address They haven't addressed the quarterback position at all through free agency.
Well, whoever they pick, they're going to be instantly comparing them to Josh Allen.
Do you think the Jets might see that Aaron Rodgers thing and be like, "Hey, we'll trade the farm"?
That would suck.
Yeah, that would be.
You get rid of Tom
rough for
Brady
us.
in your division, and then Aaron Rodgers shows
Deal
up the
with
next
Aaron
season.
Oh my God! Well, I mean, if you think about it, Brett Favre ended up being a Jet for a little while.
Yeah,
and
yeah, he was on the Madden cover because they had the Packer and the
That's
Jet
right.
versions.
That's right.
right.
I'm intrigued to see who they take here because everybody is talking Wilson.
Greg, are you able? Do you have the chat pulled up also for?
For us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good because I have it closed currently.
Yeah,
watching
Graham's
the draft.
got the draft.
And there it goes.
Yeah, actually, if you can you pull it up?
There's
on our,
the pick's been
on your
announced.
computer, the chat.
The pick has been announced, and what do we got?
QB Zach
I got
Wilson.
QB Zach Wilson to the New York Jets. Oh boy, and I gotta tell you what, man, that kid is in trouble.
Yeah.
He's in trouble. How
Yeah.
do you're giving up? Okay, let's just be realistic here for a second. Sam Darnold's 24 years old. He's literally or 23, 24. He's literally one of the youngest quarterbacks in the league. He already has 3 years experience, 3 or 4. And then you trade him, and then you go with Zach Wilson.
He's got 3 years. Darnold's got 3 years.
3 years?
Yes.
And now you're starting over with an abysmal offense still, an abysmal offensive line, an abysmal wide receiver room, an abysmal tight end room, and an abysmal running back room, to be quite frank.
And a depleted secondary on defense.
This kid better be ready because he's going to have one of the rudest awakenings in the NFL come next season. People are going to be hitting this kid left, right, and center. I hope for his sake, because I want the Bills to win the East, but the Jets are going to have to go out in this draft and free agency after this to really help try to protect this guy and prolong his career starting now. Joe Burrow going to Cincinnati. Graham, you touched on his injury already.
Yep.
The worst thing you can do is invest in a youthful quarterback and just allow him to get injured because you're not being responsible. At the end of the day, they're your money. And I really hope, for his sake, the Jets go out and really get him a lot of help along the offensive line during this draft.
I mean,
Really do.
they just drafted Mekhi Becton last year. Mekhi Becton had a pretty decent season for a rookie.
Keep building.
I hope that they don't keep building, only because it's in our division, and I don't want the Jets to ever succeed. I want them to fail for forever.
I want good football.
I want good football too, but I want the Jets to fail for forever.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
I hate when I hear the Jets, Jets.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Just like I know that every other fan base hates the hey.
Yeah.
Like, I love it because I'm a Bills fan, but I hate that Jets chant.
Yeah.
I hate anything that has to do with the Dolphins, and the Patriots are mediocre right now, which makes me happy.
I don't get me wrong. I don't want to see the
Till they
Jets
trade
just
up for
take
Justin
offensive
Fields.
seat.
You
And-
shush. You don't even put that out in the universe, Greg. I wanna hear it.
Bill Belichick's already ran that through his mind 38 times this
Oh, yeah.
morning. You know that.
Oh yeah. So
You know, Bill Belichick's already mocked this entire draft 50 times and knows exactly who's
50?
going. Yeah,
probably a million.
50 this
probably. He knows
week.
exactly. knows exactly what team is picking what player in what round, and he knows who he's getting at what point. He knows it all. This guy.
And this is all for the 2042 draft, by the way. He's working ahead a
Yes.
little bit.
bit.
Yes, he's way ahead of the game.
But that being said, though, I respect the players in this sport.
Yes, I agree. With you.
I just don't want to see another kid. I mean, Sam Darnold. I bet you we're going to see a Sam Darnold in Carolina that we haven't seen at all throughout his career. And I'm just worried that this kid's just going to get hurt. Greg, you got anything to touch on?
I was just going to say, I'm really excited because I have liked Sam Darnold as a player and as a person, and he always was very, very respectable in the situation he was put in. Like you guys were touching on, he was not put in a good situation for the Jets. And I always liked the kid. I liked watching him in college. I liked watching him play to the best of the ability of what he had around him. I'm really excited to see him with Matt Rule down in Carolina.
Yeah, me too.
I like Matt Rule.
I do too.
I've liked what he's
done.
Oh,
you've been on the Matt Rule hype train for a full year now. I mean,
since they hired him. Since
he took 7 players in the last year's draft, on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
That's how you.
And you know what? That guy Jeremy Chin is going to be. He's going to be a superstar.
Jeremy Chin.
Yeah, you guys were joking about. You know nothing about Jeremy Chin.
Let's just reiterate.
My man, I called it.
Eric only researched 2 players last year.
Jeremy Chin and Mekhi Becton.
Jeremy Chin, 2 of which we've already brought up again, and that's going to be the last of the names you hear of last year.
Dude, when we do the draft coverage for 2042, Graham's going to be like, yo, my first year, 21 years ago, Jeremy Chin.
Greg, if you don't mind, can you look up the trade from the 49ers to the Dolphins to move up to number 3? 49ers are on the clock. We talked about this earlier. Pick number 3. We all think quarterback. A lot of people are talking Mac Jones. A lot of people are wondering if it's Trey Lance. Some interesting decisions going on here. I don't think anybody really saw the 49ers moving up to number 3 before the draft. And I think they're going to be doing something pretty spicy.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
The news with Aaron Rodgers kind of throws a little bit of a monkey wrench into it. I'm kind of expecting the Packers to be in the number 3 spot here in a minute.
Really?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's hard to say because I think the 49ers want Aaron Rodgers. I think Kyle Shanahan wants Aaron Rodgers. I think that he had an idea of who he was going to take. I'm trading up to number 3 and I'm going to get him. But wait a sec. Now this guy who's an MVP all of a sudden doesn't want to be where he's at.
Yep.
Maybe he wants to be.
Maybe
he thinks the grass is greener on the other side.
It's definitely greener.
So
in San Fran.
Yeah. So the trade was the 49ers got the 3rd overall pick that they're on the clock right now with. The Dolphins got the number 12 pick, which they flipped in a later trade, a 1st rounder and a 3rd rounder next year, and a 1st rounder in 2023.
So they got 4 picks.
Yeah, they got 3 first-round picks out of it.
Yeah, they got 3 first rounders, and like I said, they did move up. They did flip a couple of late round.
So I mean, is there? Okay, so they got 3 first-round picks for the 3rd overall pick, and you're telling me Aaron? Are any of you guys in disagreement that Aaron Rodgers is worth 2 to 3 first-round picks?
No.
I would have to definitely lean 2. I think 3 would be tough with his age, but 2 definitely.
Okay.
I'm definitely on the 2 train. I could see 3 happening.
Yep.
See, I could see 3 for. Sorry, Graham.
The way that I would compare it is, if you're picking a quarterback at number 3, like the 49ers are, he's not going to be anything compared to what Aaron Rodgers is right now.
That's what I mean.
And you just traded 3 first-round picks
to get there,
to get to the 3rd overall pick. So if you're comparing it like that, then yes, Aaron Rodgers is 100% worth 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Technically, he's worth 3 first-round picks,
a second,
and a 3rd, and whatever gets you Aaron Rodgers is probably 4 first-round picks.
Now,
if you're comparing it that way, but the pick is in for the 49ers.
The pick is in. It hasn't been announced yet. I do want to touch real quick before we start talking about who the 49ers did pick. James Strasburg came in. He said he would say 2 firsts and a second for Aaron Rodgers.
2 firsts. I feel like I mean that seems pretty reasonable.
It's reasonable, but like I said, if I'm comparing it like that, I would take Aaron Rodgers over a 3rd overall pick.
Yeah.
And that 3rd overall pick is worth 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Whether it's this year, next year, and the year after, or you somehow have 2 this year and 1 next year, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is worth more
than any player you're going to take.
Than any player that you're getting at number 3 overall right now.
Yep, I agree 100%. I'm intrigued to see who they take here. A lot of people are saying Mac Jones out of Alabama.
Justin Fields. I'm saying Justin Fields is the next.
You're just going to keep saying
quarterback
Justin Fields till he gets picked.
I'm saying he's the next quarterback that should come off the board.
This is what scares me. If the 49ers did not trade for Aaron Rodgers,
I don't know what it is yet.
I want to wait for your guys' reaction.
Let's see what we got. On our side, Goodell is walking to the podium.
Boo!
Boo, Goodell.
It's like we're there.
Baby.
See?
Oh my God, dude. I can't believe they just did this. I love this right now.
You gotta be kidding me. Tell me it's not even a freaking quarterback. I bet you it's Jamar Chase.
I wouldn't hate that pick.
Trey Lance. Wow. Trey Lance.
All right. That's Kyle Shanahan's guy.
Wow.
Hey,
we're looking him up.
He is gonna
I hate it.
I
hate
hill,
this
bro.
so much.
Wow.
I hate this pick so much. I don't like drafting an FCS quarterback. I don't like drafting an FCS quarterback who played one full season. And you trade 3 first-rounders for this kid. Cool. He might look great, but he's playing against FCS. Yeah, James Strasburg, exactly. Oof. Wow.
Yeah. This is a shocker. He doesn't need... Okay. Listen, I'm not going to beat the kid down because who knows? This could be a young stud who comes out of nowhere, has that glory season, 28 touchdowns.
Maybe it's the next Josh Allen.
Yeah, 28 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Like you said, Greg, 1 full season, but he put out for that team. I understand that the teams that they play are nowhere near the Mac Jones levels, but this is something where, this is now going to be debated. If Aaron Rodgers gets traded in this draft, the 49ers will be the first team underneath the microscope saying, you took Trey Lance for 3 first-round picks when you could have had Aaron Rodgers for probably 2 and change.
But technically they don't have the capital to get Aaron Rodgers.
Now they don't. Yeah, because they traded they traded those first-rounders.
They traded away those 3 first-rounders to get to 3.
Yep.
So now you have the 3rd overall pick. Hey, you're going to have to give me another first.
This is honestly, I knew Trey Lance was going to go top 10 just because the quarterback has been a hot commodity.
Yes.
But to go number 3, Justin Fields, I'll tell you what, man. Whoever gets Justin Fields,
he's gonna have a chip. Yep.
And
exactly.
He's gonna come in and rock it. So I'm hoping to God every single mock draft that I've seen where the Patriots trade up to 8 to get Justin Fields does not happen. But this is leading to that point.
It is. Honestly, it's kind of leading to a point where they might not even need to trade up for Justin Fields.
This is gonna get wild. The Panthers were the only other team towards the back half of the top 10 that people speculated might take a quarterback, but since trading for Sam Darnold, there is a very good chance that if the next quarterback needy team comes in here and takes, Mac Jones over.
I would so a couple things. One, I'm in exact agreement with James Strasburg. I am in total shock, he says. I'm not going to beat the kid up either, but he needs to put up or that trade was a waste, in his words. I couldn't say it better myself, man. That's just absolutely crazy for me. But I want to say we might not wait too long on another quarterback being taken. I could see the Falcons taking another quarterback.
I could see the Falcons.
Matt Ryan's getting older. Mac Jones just dropped into their lap. He's a little mini Matt Ryan. I could see their play styles being very similar, and you could keep going without skipping a beat.
Well, that's kind of like where I was thinking with that was, are the Falcons going to stick with the old habits, the Matt Ryan pocket passing type offense, or are they going to try to transition into the new era, the Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen's, the guys who can scramble, create time, and have big arms? That would be a nice Justin Fields fit too for me, because he's that kind of guy. He can run the option plays, he can run the read plays,
and he's got a big enough arm to do what he's got to do. And he's a
big guy.
Yes.
I mean, Justin Fields is a big guy.
Yes.
I'm with you too, James. This is a complete shocker to me in terms of who you're trading up to get. I understand the kid's a baller. He won out. He's put up statistically good numbers for one season, but not against the type of defenses.
Did he though?
I mean, this is what I hate personally, because there's just not enough evidence to justify
the need
to justify trading up to number 3, because he probably would have been there at number 12.
He probably,
or at least you could have not spent as much draft capital.
Yep.
and got up to like number 7 or number 8.
Or
Yeah.
they could have moved up to 6 where the
and he
Eagles
would've
already
been there.
were.
Yeah.
He would have for sure been there.
You know, with the Falcons on the clock, though, this is where we're really going to see how far these QBs are going to slide. And if another quarterback gets by the Falcons right here, the Patriots will not have to trade up for a quarterback. Like, I don't think there's going to be another. I mean, the Dolphins sticking with Tua, I don't think they're going to be going for a quarterback.
I've heard mixed things about that. I've heard that the Dolphins might be taking a guy like Justin Fields. They might be taking a guy like Mac Jones now.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is falling. Justin Fields is falling, and they're not 100% sold on Tua yet.
Right.
So
bring in some young competition. I don't know.
Yes.
This is a big pick right here for the rest of the draft, though. This is going to determine a lot of future picks. Like, I'm talking teens. Like, from picks 10 to 15, this is
what happens if we have 4 quarterbacks come right off the board in a row? Is that gonna? Do you think the Patriots are gonna be forced to move up to like 7 or 6?
They've already been in talks. They're willing to come into the top 10. It's just who's willing to give it up. I don't think anybody wants to deal with Bill Belichick, dude.
I don't think so either because they think they're gonna get fleeced.
And they do. Everybody who trades Bill Belichick gets fleeced.
Yes.
Look at the Jimmy G situation. Even if the Patriots come back right now and say, all right, we might not take a quarterback in the draft. Let's go get our boy Jimmy G back for a 3rd round pick after we dished him off for a 2nd.
And Jimmy G,
that's what he's worth.
Fits, yeah. He fits right into into their scheme and their system.
There were rumors going on about how Bill Belichick wanted to leave New England after they traded Jimmy G. He was high on Jimmy G. So Bill Belichick, the ball is in his court, and he can just sit here right now. He's probably smiling and smirking ear to ear because this draft is working out exactly how he wants to do it.
The pick is in.
Greg, you're going to be the first one to see it, so if you want to tell us ahead of time, you can. If you want to see our actual
depends. It depends on what the pick is. Yeah. Like, I wanted to wait and see your guys' reaction to Trey Lance. I didn't want to spoil that one for you.
So that Trey Lance thing, though, I'm going to get back on that real quick because that is just so shocking to me that you gave up all that draft capital for a guy that is very unproven.
Yeah.
He's only got 1 year behind his pedigree, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And there are quarterbacks with better intangibles in this draft. And if you are kind of in the mode and making it sound like you're ready to trade Jimmy Garoppolo or you're done with Jimmy Garoppolo, basically is what the perception is.
Yep.
Why would you take a guy that's considered to be a project?
Right.
Why wouldn't you take a guy that's more pro ready?
Right.
Like a Justin Fields, like a Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
A guy that has just the better intangible. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, and I'm very upset about it.
Well, here we go. We got Goodell walking to the podium on my screen. I'm sure Greg's already seen the pick. He hasn't said anything, so it must be good because he wants our reaction. This might be Kyle Pitts. Right here.
I've seen a couple mocks with him going top 5.
This could be
somewhere.
The
Yep, you're
Kyle
right.
Pitts. There we go. Kyle Pitts is now headed to the Atlanta Falcons to add to that firepower. You got Calvin
Ridley,
Julio Jones. Now Kyle Pitts, Matt Ryan. Okay, so this is the direction. The Falcons still think they can make a push.
Yeah.
This is what this tells you. This tells you that they're going to be aggressive this year. They're going to let the ball fly. They got Matt Ryan for 2 more years, restructured contract last year. This is a big pick for them. But now, like I said, this really comes as no surprise, but the rest of the draft is now kind of molded for the next 10 picks. I just kind of want to take it right back to that point, though, that you guys were talking about with Trey Lance. And then I'll let you guys comment on Kyle. But I don't think the Falcons were taking Trey Lance at 3.
No.
I don't think the Falcons were taking Trey Lance at 4. Who's pick 5? Who's coming in? Who's coming in at 5, Greg?
I think we lost Greg.
Did we lose Greg? We might have lost Greg.
I just heard his mic do some craziness.
Okay.
Hold on, everybody. The 5th. Oh, we got our little ticker here on the bottom. If anybody's been paying attention to the ticker here on the bottom, here we go. Cincinnati's in at number 5.
Okay, so Cincinnati wasn't going to take Trey Lance.
No.
Who's 6?
The Dolphins.
They're not going to take Trey Lance.
Detroit.
7. They're not taking Trey Lance.
Carolina.
The 49ers might have made the biggest
mistake
of the draft already at pick 3.
It kind of reminds me of when the Bears took Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah.
At number 2.
But Mitch was even in a pro offense. and he played a decent competition.
But he was at North Carolina.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at Mitchell Trubisky, and I knew he wasn't the best quarterback in that draft. I knew he wasn't the guy that should have been going first out of any of the quarterbacks. Greg, you back? We got you back?
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
I keep hearing scuffle.
All right,
he's back. We're here.
Yeah, I just had to step out. Sorry, guys. No, I just had to step out real quick.
Yeah, you're good. Hey, I just want to let everybody know, if you do see our screen popped up as intermission, we will be back. We're probably going to be taking a couple breaks throughout the first round here so we can get up and relieve ourselves a little bit.
You want to order some wings for tonight, too?
Kenzie's actually making a bomb dinner for us, so we're going to be all right.
Jealous.
We're going to be taken care of.
I need a girlfriend.
So, yeah.
I need somebody that's going to make me food.
Greg, we were talking about how the next picks, the Dolphins weren't going to take Trey Lance at 3.
Nope.
Cincinnati wasn't, or the Falcons weren't going to take him at 4. Since he wasn't going to take him at 5. Like, this might have already been the biggest mistake of the draft, was taking Trey Lance with the number 3 pick, because it looks like you might have potentially been able to get him at 12. Just the way that this draft is falling, I don't think Trey Lance was going to go before the top 8 picks.
I mean, the thing is, though, is that I think 12 would have been a stretch. I think they could have moved up to 6, where the Eagles originally were before the Dolphins traded for that pick, because the Eagles were obviously ready to trade out. And then stop calling the cat. No cat calling on the show, boys.
Sorry, there's a kitty cat.
But yeah, I mean, I think that you could have traded up to 6, and I think that you could have definitely got it for cheaper, because the Dolphins only traded 2 first-round picks for to move up back up to 6. So I mean, you could.
I was asking how we were watching the draft, and I was pointing at my phone.
Gotcha.
That's my bad.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
But they're showing the Falcons War Room on what I'm watching. I'm watching it on NFL Network. And they're ecstatic about Kevin Pitts.
Dude, Kevin Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
Dude, a lot of people were saying this is the best offensive talent in the draft, if not the best overall athletic player in the draft. And you get him at 4, that's a good pick.
You know what's crazy is that a lot of people thought he'd fall to the Bills at 30. There was zero chance. That was never going to happen.
Who would you say?
Even if the Bills, there's just crazy.
Who was saying that? Dude,
there's crazy Bills fans out there, Greg.
Yeah.
That believe that we could pick any player at any point in the draft.
So, yeah, and you guys pick Tom Brady every year too. Last pick of the draft, and he's the franchise quarterback.
Yes.
Honestly, I would say the first 4 picks so far, I kind of saw coming, except Trey Lance. I really thought, I don't know, personally, I don't even know if we'd be saying the same thing about Mac Jones or not, because the argument now becomes you traded 3 first-round picks for a Jimmy Garoppolo replacement, and you're now starting back at ground zero, with the quarterback and offensive side of it.
Which, I mean, I guess it's understandable if it's your guy.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen was considered a project. We traded, 2 first-round picks to get up there?
Yep.
To get him?
But think of that.
That was at 7.
We almost got the MVP at pick 7 for 2 first-round picks. That's pretty awesome. I mean, after watching what teams are giving up.
Yeah.
It
just goes to show that the value of the quarterback has just increased that much in just a couple of years. Like that if you want a top 5 quarterback, you're paying.
Yeah.
And you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
So you better be sure about a guy. And that's why I'm so kind of befuddled about that pick, is because there's a lot of question marks around him, and I want a guy. Sure. Yeah, I want a guy that I'm going to be really sure on.
Mm-hmm. Well, and honestly, I'm just. Not to bring up the dirty word, but I just wonder how much tanking is going to come into play here. If you're seeing people trade 2 first-round picks just to move up 6 spots, 3 first-round picks to move up 10, why not tank and save yourself the draft capital? Yeah, I mean, everybody was.
People were saying Miami was.
Tank for Tua. Yeah. But and it's always tough. I mean, it was always a big talk in the NBA as well, but when you're spending this much on a kid who's going to be this risky, like Trey Lance, dude, it's tough, man. It's tough to pull the trigger and trade 3 first-round picks for a kid who played FCS football.
And I'm just glad that my team's not in position where we need to give up that type of draft capital.
As a Giants fan, this is terrifying. If Danny Jones, I've been wanting to. I love talking Giants football, and I'll give a quick spurt here. If Danny Jones doesn't have a good year this year and show massive improvement,
Greg lagging for you.
I think we're gonna be in the QB market next year. I'm not gonna lie.
It could be a possibility. It's something where it all depends where the GM's at that point. They got him some weapons this year. The other thing with Danny Dimes though is dude's hit a lot and he fumbles a lot.
Yeah.
If he stops with the fumbling, I think Danny Jones is a pretty competent quarterback. Is he the best in the league? No, but he knows how to win football games. I've actually been a Danny Jones supporter since he came into the league. I believe last year during draft time we were having the same type of discussion about will the Giants think about it? We don't know, and that's when I brought up the conversation. Like he had more 300, 400-yard games than Kirk Cousins, who makes $79 million a year.
The issue though,
knows how to let it fly.
Issue is he didn't take that step forward this year. Last year, he had.
Well, that was year 2, and Josh Allen didn't take a huge step forward in year 2. Josh Allen took his big leap in year 3.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
If Danny Jones takes a big leap in year 3, then you're looking at him as okay, he's my franchise guy. And if he doesn't take that big leap in year 3, even if he takes a small leap, I still look at him as hey, he's my best shot to win games, regardless of who's coming out next year. So I don't need to draft in the top 5 unless we're in the top 5.
Wow. I am hyped about this.
What's up?
All right.
You'll see.
The pick's being announced.
The pick is in.
Yeah,
Cincinnati Bengals pick number 5 coming your way right here on the Buffalo Binge.
Yes, thank you all for joining us to react with us to the draft, by the way. We really appreciate everybody showing up. Make sure you guys share the live feed, and we'll try to get as many people in here as possible.
Jamar Chase. LSU going to Cincinnati and rejoin his Joe Burrow. Go ahead, plug him in there, finish that plug in, and then we'll talk about
so if you guys want to share tonight's podcast that we're doing our live reaction of tonight's draft, make sure you do that. We're going to try to get as many people in here as possible, have conversations with you as we see everything happening with the draft, give it our little 2 cents about anything that's going on that you guys want to talk about too. Please do that. Make sure you guys like it and follow the page. If you guys head on over to Twitch, give us a follow on there. Maybe Yep. But yeah, this is crazy. Jamar Chase. They just took T. Higgins last year.
Yep.
And they already had Tyler Boyd.
Yep.
They had AJ Green. They lost him.
Yep. So that's a good pick in my opinion.
I feel like they're just so overloaded at wide receiver, and Joe Burrow needs an offensive line.
You know what's funny is that I feel like that's always been Cincinnati's thing.
Yes.
They've always been loaded at wide receiver.
Yes.
And then they have the crappiest corners and the crappiest offensive line.
Pac-Man Jones wasn't bad for a while.
So, Greg, you said you were pretty pumped about this pick. Why don't you tell the people how you feel about it? Graham's a little skeptical over here, so let's see what you got going on.
I'm not hyped that they picked Jamar Chase. I'm hyped that they didn't pick Sewell.
Okay.
I would love for the Giants to trade up right now. I would love for the Giants to trade up and pick this kid because I think this kid could be an absolute unit on that offensive line across from oh my God, I'm gonna forget the kid's name. Across from the kid we picked last year, Andrew Thomas. I think those two bookending that line would be absolutely fantastic. We were just saying how much Danny Jones gets hit, but I can talk about that a bit more in a little while. But Jamar Chase, dude, I love the kid. He was fantastic with Joe Burrow, dude. They lit up the scoreboard. Kid's fantastic. He gets reunited. I wonder how much Joe Burrow was there whispering in their ear, saying, "Get my boy." Get my boy.
Get my boy. You know,
Chase took last year off, so he's gonna be fresh as hell. Yeah. I love the pick too. James Strasburg likes the pick. Everybody likes the pick.
That's what I was gonna mention. Was this is a guy who just went 5th.
Oh, the Dolphins picks in already, dude.
Oh,
this is a guy who just went 5th overall in the 2021 NFL draft and didn't play all last season.
Yeah,
that's pretty remarkable.
And honestly, he was considered by most to be the best wide receiver in this draft without even playing a snap this season.
Well, he was the best wide
So-
receiver in the draft last year if he would have went.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Yes.
Yeah,
I like
highly coveted.
I like the pick for that reason.
Yeah,
Because you're getting a guy that's going to be pretty much a sure thing.
yeah, you're not getting bad value here.
No.
You're not getting bad value, and you're not really taking a risk. The pick is in though. Miami Dolphins pick 6. Now remember, guys, Miami started at 3, traded out to San Fran, who then took the biggest disappointment so far in the draft and Trey Lance. Went back to 12 and then traded back up to 6. So obviously they're coveting somebody here of value. This could be a Sewell pick.
I'm
sorry,
thinking
that's
Sewell.
not it.
I'm thinking Sewell, Smith, or Waddle.
It's gonna be if they're gonna stick with this is gonna tell us if they're sticking with Tua or not.
Well, they could be picking a wide receiver.
That's why I'm saying Smith
the
or
Dolphins'
Waddle.
wide receiving core is severely
Devonta Smith, right?
Devonta Smith, yeah.
Devonta? Yeah. Okay.
But going back to what I was saying about the Bengals pick, I really think that they should have gone offensive line because Joe Burrow just had that horrible knee injury last year.
Yep.
You did not address the offensive line at all through free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And if anything, you even lose a guy that's halfway decent, Bobby Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah. To us.
To us, yeah.
To us.
To the Bills.
Yes. But I think that you, at least to show Joe Burrow, like, hey,
I care about you.
I care about your health. I know you want Jamar Chase because he's your boy, and you've been throwing to him for a while, and you know each other really well, and it's going to do great things for our offense.
But I need to be able to throw.
But I also need you to be on the field to be able to throw that guy that ball. So it's kind of one of those weird things for me. I feel like they should have gone offensive line. I don't hate the pick because of the relationship.
Exactly.
But
I think he's walking into a good situation.
Yes, Jamar Chase is definitely walking into a good situation.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, if I were him right now, I'd be on the phone with the GM being like, hey, we're going offensive line the rest of the draft, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
That's
all
right.
right, just making sure. Thanks.
Well, like you said, who knows? Maybe they went up to Burrow and they're like, hey, Sewell or Chase, who we picking? I mean, who knows? I mean, we were talking about it with the whole Deshaun Watson thing, like how much pull these quarterbacks are getting. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, they could have taken it into consideration, or they could have just, Jamar Chase just balls out, man. I mean, this is a deep draft for offensive tackles too. It was deeper than the couple years past. It's very top heavy. It drops off quite a bit right after, but like the top probably, I think it's like 7 or 8 prospects, I think were top 50 prospects. So, I mean, there's a lot of good tackles. Sewell was just head and shoulders above them from what everybody has been saying.
Yeah. Kind of like who was the one last year? Not the tackle though. The kid that went to the Buccaneers.
Wirfs.
Yes, Christian Wirfs.
Yeah.
Selections made.
I am pumped about this pick, though. I like to see how other teams are going to be unfolding against the Bills in the East, so this pick means a lot to me.
Yes, I'm with you on that.
Let's see how they're going to be attacking it here. We're getting it on our end right now. Roger Goodell coming up with the 6th pick for the Miami Dolphins.
I think they might surprise us and pick a quarterback here.
Let's see what we got.
No.
Jalen Waddle.
I was right. Wide receiver.
Man, you know, I'm not surprised. They're going to get another weapon for Tua, which played with Tua. Jalen Waddle, I believe, played with Tua in Alabama. So that's another relationship that we've just seen take place here in the past.
And you know what's funny too is that you and we've been talking about relationships in locker rooms a lot lately.
Yeah.
About how, especially with the Sabres,
Mm-hmm.
You're coming into a place where you don't know anybody really.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the starting quarterback for the Dolphins is your guy. Same thing in Cincinnati. The starting quarterback is your guy. You are familiar with him. Automatically, you are in.
Yeah.
Everybody is your boy. You're getting to know people way quicker. There's just a different kind of comfort level.
Wow.
When it's your guy.
Lions already have their pick in.
Lions pick is in.
Wow, the top 10's flying so far.
All right, you know this is a little different than I thought it would go. It looks like, because there was a lot of speculation going on this offseason about our scouts going to be able to see and get to know these kids as well as they have in the past.
Right, with COVID.
Yep.
Same thing as last year.
Yeah, Brandon Beane's come out and said it's been a little different. You know, the one thing that he noticed was the biggest difference was the medical. They can't get their own doctors on these players as often as they would to be more surefire. So I think what we're seeing here in the top 10, our teams are just taking the most secure pick that they know of on all levels of this whole entire thing. Not just like the talent, but like the medical history off the field. These are guys that they've been able to really scope out and figure out all the do's and don'ts with these guys. So it's interesting to see that the Dolphins went wide receiver for me. Honestly, I thought they were going to go offensive line to protect Tua, but that just makes it a better pick for the Giants for Greg to get his boy Sewell here. But
yeah,
Jalen Waddle.
I mean, unless you think he might go to the Lions right now.
I don't think so.
The Lions could use some help on the offensive line.
They could use help everywhere.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, Stick Rod. If you ever watch this, I know you're a Lions fan.
Yeah.
The Lions need help.
Well, I mean, I know a couple people that are big Lions fans, and yeah, they're in trouble.
So far, what would you have graded that pick just now by the Dolphins?
I'd say it's probably an A for them for what their team needs are.
Yeah,
they need receivers.
Yeah,
Devontae Parker ain't cutting it as a number 1 overall receiver, and Tua needs weapons.
Yep.
Obviously you got Gesicki still.
Yeah.
Actually, even his backup, I don't remember his name, but he wasn't bad.
He wasn't terrible. No.
Yes, they need help on the offensive line. Yes, they need help on the defense, but ultimately, if you're looking at what the Bills have, the Bills have a stacked wide receiver core, stacked, top to bottom. We've said that if you're a receiver coming into the team, which is why I don't think we need to take a receiver at all in this year's draft. Obviously, maybe they will for maybe a special teamer. I don't think so because I think top to bottom of the depth chart, we're looking really good. You're looking at a receiving core with here they got it up here on the screen too. They picked up Will Fuller in free agency, who's pretty good.
He's
but I wouldn't say that he's like a top tier slot guy in the league. He's fast. You had Devontae Parker, but then after that, who did you have?
Yeah.
You really had nobody. So this is a good pick for the Dolphins.
All right.
But there's so many needs on that team. Like, yes, they're a competitive team right now, but they have a lot of needs to be a true playoff contender, I think.
I would say right now 3 out of the 6 picks I saw coming. Greg, how about you? How are you making out with your top 6 picks so far? Is it kind of how you saw it going here?
I mean, Lawrence and Wilson, yeah. Lance was a surprise. I expected quarterback, but I expected Mac Jones to come off the board. Kyle Pitts isn't a surprise. Jamar Chase, that's kind of like a half surprise. I expected them to go Sewell, but it doesn't surprise me that they got another weapon. Like you said, the Bengals have always seemed to be very wide receiver heavy. I mean, going back to, AJ Green, Chad Johnson, they've always had a really good receiver in the room. And so Ocho Cinco, man.
TJ, who's your daddy?
Yeah,
TJ Houshmandzadeh. But yeah, and the Dolphins pick makes sense too. I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, offensive line is always a good pick, but you also got to make sure that your quarterback has weapons.
Well, yeah. The Dolphins did the same thing that the Bengals did.
Yeah.
Like exact same thing.
Well, and it looks like we're also seeing them. We're going to see a transition into a different style offense for the Dolphins this coming season. Going out and getting Will Fuller, Devontae Parker, and now you get Jalen Waddle. Those are 3 guys you want on the field at all times.
Yeah,
that's giving you the best chance to win. That's what we're seeing in the East. Everybody's going spread. Everybody's spreading it out. Ever since Josh Allen really made a mark in the East, you gotta make your defenses compatible to go against his offense, and you gotta make your offense compatible.
Well, I think what the Bills proved last year is that they can outscore you at any point, regardless of how good your defense is.
Yep.
Just based on what they have talent-wise on the offense. Now you need to try to compete with that, which is sort of what the Chiefs did ultimately too. If you think about it, like the Chiefs forced us to bring in the big guns, and to try to change our offense into a high caliber offense that can drop 35 on you any week.
Right.
The Dolphins are going to try to take the Bills formula and do it in their own way.
That's kind of like what we've been seeing across. We
Yes,
heard last year Ron Rivera came and called Sean McDermott about how he
rebuilt the team.
But
I'm talking about strictly on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
The Chiefs started this trend.
Yeah.
The Bills have
adapted,
and I would even say that at times the Bills' offense is better than the Chiefs.
Right.
But obviously not in that playoff game.
Right. You want to know what's cool though? Everybody, we've even done it on the show. Everybody compares Josh Allen.
The Lions are picking right now.
Okay. What do we got? Oh, Greg
Sewell off the board.
That is a steal for the Lions.
Did I not just say I think he might go right now to the Lions?
Yep. That is a steal for the Lions to get Jared Goff in this offseason, trading away Matthew Stafford, and they go out and they get Sewell to protect him. This is a good safe pick. I know Greg's a little salty over there. I'll let him comment here in a second, but this is a good pick. In fact, this is probably one of the safest picks in this draft. You can't go wrong with it. Everybody's going to grade this pick an A at the end of the day because he is, without a doubt, the best offensive tackle in this whole draft, and you really can't go wrong with this kid. He's tenacious, and Greg, I know you were just talking about him hopefully sliding to your Giants, but looks like you're coming up a little bit short there, bud.
Well, like I said, I expected that the Giants would have had to trade up to still get him, even if the Bengals passed on him. So, yeah, doesn't surprise me that he was the next one off the board.
Giants 4 picks away.
11, yep. Yeah, Giants picks coming up. I'm real excited, but we'll get into that. But, yeah, I mean, dude, the Sewell kid, I mean, he's an absolute beast, dude. He's exactly what you want at a left tackle or right tackle if you have a lefty quarterback.
Any tackle, yeah. He'll play both.
Dude, he's just absolutely tenacious. You used the word. I absolutely love it. That's exactly how I would describe him. Absolutely tenacious, 113% every single time. Every play, dude. He's just an absolute workhorse.
So, first 7 picks are in. It's taken us an hour to get to this point. And I got to say, we've had some shockers so far. Maybe one complete shocker. And like you said, Jamar Chase, a lot of people were up in the air. Greg, I think you hit the nail right on the head with a lot of people suspecting the Bengals go Sewell there to protect their investment in Joe Burrow. But I would say the first hour of the draft has been, it's been good. You can kind of see how it's going to unfold. What I'm still nervous about is that this is the area where a lot of people are saying the Patriots will jump up to get their quarterback. Apparently, they already had a deal in place. This is all, hearsay.
Allegedly, yeah.
So we might see the Panthers take a pick here or not, but I don't know if the Patriots jump up. One thing I wanted to bring up, though, before we got interrupted by the Lions pick, everybody compares Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes, right? And that trade that the Bills made to trade away. Well, I just realized the other day, I saw it written out for me. When we traded pick 12 or 10 to the Chiefs and they got Mahomes, we got a first-round pick the following year.
Yes.
That first-round pick was then used to trade up to get Josh Allen.
Yes.
So, boom. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like we traded – I don't know. The way it was written out for me, I was like, man, we traded up, we got Josh Allen, and then Tremaine Edmonds, basically because we traded Pat Mahomes. So out of the Pat Mahomes trade, we got Tremaine Edmonds and Josh Allen,
which is great.
Might have worked out.
No, I think that's we're the winners in that trade as of right now.
Yeah,
because Tremaine Edmonds, he has some room for improvement in his game.
Yep,
I'm not gonna deny that.
Yeah,
but
the devil's advocate.
You guys are just
Tremaine Edmonds is a competent middle linebacker.
Yep.
He's a very smart kid. He flies around the field very well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Josh Allen is taking the league by storm right now.
I'm actually kind of.
Come on, guys. Come on. Graham, you really want to sit there and say you guys won that trade? I think it's a toss-up, if anything. Chiefs won a Super Bowl.
Well,
Chiefs have won a Super Bowl.
Mahomes
won an MVP.
He's been an MVP.
True.
Yeah.
But
tell me.
He's got a point.
I think you're homing a little bit. I think you're homing.
But I'm saying you got a franchise quarterback
and potentially
and
a franchise
and a competent middle linebacker that is in, I would say, the top 10 of the league.
Yeah.
At middle linebacker for Patrick Mahomes.
What?
I'm kind of intrigued by that because.
Wait, did I say top 10?
Yes. When we did the franchise tag, then you're like, dude, he's not top 15.
Yeah, I think you're just trying to
No,
defend
no,
yourself a little
middle,
bit there.
Middle linebacker. No. I'm not saying he's a top 10 linebacker. I'm saying middle linebacker.
Yeah. So the
That's the way. I'm sorry. That's the way I break it down in my head.
The Carolina Panthers pick is in at number 8. They let it ride all the way down to about 16 seconds from what I saw. So I'm kind of curious if they were taking calls, trying to make a move. Somebody might have been trying to get their pick. But it looks like they're going to be holding in there at 8. Sam Darnold was traded from the Jets earlier in this offseason. So let's see what they do here to help out.
What do you think that they're doing?
Man, well, they went 7 defensemen last year. I think no matter what, this is offense because they lost Curtis Samuel, I believe, right? Curtis Samuel is gone from Carolina.
One of the receivers. I want to say it's Curtis Samuel.
Yes. Curtis Samuel is gone. This could be another wide receiver coming off the board right here. You still have 2 really good wide receivers that were supposed to go in the top 10 and Devonta Smith, who got Heisman last year.
Yep.
So this could be a wide receiver coming off the board.
I like Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
In this spot.
They got the Panthers and the Jets have been doing a lot. They didn't trade for Robbie Anderson, did they? Or did they trade for Robbie?
Free agent.
He was a free agent? Okay. Well, I think...
I don't even think Robbie Anderson's that good.
He's just fast.
Yeah.
I think Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and then if you were to get Devonta Smith in your slot, this is a pretty dangerous wide receiver core. Best wide receiver core Sam Darnold's ever thrown to.
Yes, 100%. I think it changes Sam Darnold's game. I did want to actually talk to you when the Jets pick came up. The reason that do you think the reason that they traded Sam Darnold was because they were so blown away with Wilson, or was it that Darnold just couldn't do enough under the head coaching regime, the previous head coaching regime?
Well, Sam Darnold played for several head coaches in his 3 years. Not several, but he played for Todd Bowles. He played for Adam Gase. He's had 2 different offensive coordinators.
3.
We'll get to this. Roger Goodell's on the podium on our screen right here, so we'll let you know who the Panthers select when it comes up.
They picked a corner.
Did they?
Yeah, J.C. Horn.
J.C. Horn. Wow.
Dude. Wow. Matt Rule must love defense, bro. That's his game. That's a good pick.
Don't get me wrong, that's a good pick, but dude,
that's kind of early for him.
He would have been there had they traded back a little bit. But that, like I said, maybe that's why they let the clock.
They're ecstatic about it.
Yeah, he's a great corner. Don't get me wrong, great corner. Maybe that's why they let it trickle down though. Maybe a team was trying to move up.
Yeah, and they were like, "Well, could we get J.C. Horn at
that pick?"
Yeah, at 15.
Yeah.
So I mean,
where are the Patriots? They had 13.
15.
15.
I like the pick only because to me
it's their guy.
It's another safe pick.
Yeah.
It's a guy who you know what you're going to get. And don't get me wrong, a corner can have a bad day against a good wideout. It's going to happen. It's football. It's any given Sunday. But this is a pretty competitive kid. I'm just surprised he's the first corner taken. A lot of people were talking about Caleb Farley being the first corner taken.
Yep. Certain.
The downside with him was that he's had some injuries on his back. He herniated a disc before. He's had some foot issues with his sciatic nerve. So there were, like I said, it takes me all back to a lot of scouts, it looks like, and teams are going to be going after the guys that they've been able to put their doctors on and get the full extent of their medical reports and the on and off field interactions.
Yeah, just the safer guy.
Yeah. Greg, how do you feel about J.C. Horn being the first corner taken at pick number 8?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, yes, Carolina win defense, but they definitely focus on the front 7 a little bit more. So it definitely makes sense. And I, like you guys are saying, the J.C. Horn kid, dude, he's got a high motor. He's a good player. Played a lot over at South Carolina. And, I mean, you're not playing slouch teams there. So, I mean, he's been lining up against the best. Right. He's been playing against the best. So, I mean, I think with Matt Rule and the direction he's taken that team, dude, it's going to – I mean, you have to. You have to when you face Tom Brady twice a year.
Yeah.
Well, you don't.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think the Saints will still have a good offense even without Drew Brees. I mean, there's a lot of good offenses in that division and in the NFC.
Yeah.
Maybe Jameis Winston is a better quarterback than he was when he was starting games in Tampa now after sitting a year, or was it 2 years behind Brees?
2 years.
Only 1 year.
Well,
1 year.
1 year.
But
I believe. But I'm saying maybe he's going to be a better quarterback.
Good.
But if he's not, you got a guy that's consistently throws as many interceptions as touchdowns in the NFL.
I mean, they also have Taysom Hill, though.
Safe pick.
Yeah.
Yes, they do have Taysom Hill, but Taysom Hill isn't
They
isn't
are,
anything yet.
but they gave him $140 million,
which is insane to me.
That's what
Ish. They kind of gave it to him.
What I
not
was
really.
saying though was, this to me is a good pick. I don't think this kid's a shutdown corner, but he's definitely going to be a plug and play guy.
Yeah.
He's ready to go day one to be a starter on the field.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like you said, a safe pick. He's a healthy kid. They've been able to get their doctors on him, which is important. And close to Carolina, playing at South Carolina, you're
home.
Yes,
you're home.
You don't have to go very far. And yeah, Darnold needs some weapons. I would say he's got DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson's okay.
He can never have too many.
He's already familiar with Robbie Anderson, but they got plenty of picks in this draft that they can address the wide receiver position. Yes, the receiver position isn't as deep as it was last year, but you're still going to get really quality guys up until the 4th round.
Right, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. This pick coming up, though, pick number 9, Denver Broncos. This is actually pretty intriguing to me right here.
Yes.
They just made a move earlier in the week to get Teddy Bridgewater from Carolina. So now they have a Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater. But do you think that stops them from potentially going out here and getting a Mac Jones or a Justin Fields to bring in a 3 QB comp? I mean, John,
what do you have to lose?
Dude, he's been looking for so long.
Yeah.
Why not go out there and get a Justin Fields and have him come in and
what do you have to lose? That's my question. Is what do you have to lose?
Right.
John Elway, basically, if he doesn't find his quarterback this year, he's probably losing his job.
I think he's already gone.
They need to make the playoffs.
You think he's gone?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. I think he left already.
Really?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But yeah, I really think that the Broncos could go quarterback. I mean, why not? Why not? Go out there, get a 3 QB competition in the offseason between Drew Lock. He's had his starts. Teddy Bridgewater had his starts. Then you get a guy maybe like a Justin Fields in there.
Or Mac
some
Jones.
Young spice.
I think Mac Jones would play better in Denver than Justin Fields, personally.
He probably could. I mean, we'll see how it plays out. I'm kind of intrigued to see how they.
So John Elway stepped down as GM, but he is still the president of football operations.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, hey, I mean, I guess it ain't on John Elway anymore. Then who's the GM now, or do they have an interim guy, or do they just not have a GM?
I'll take a look. But yeah, I think I want to know.
Actually, you know what? If James is still in the chat,
he just said he's thinking.
Just answer that for us.
He said he's thinking QB2, QB as well. James, who would you prefer, Justin Fields or Mac Jones? I want to know your preference. George Patton.
I do too.
George Patton is the new
Why does
GM.
Your name sound so familiar?
You know, Doug Whaley was actually interviewed this year for a GM.
Yeah.
That was wild to me. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
He was a GM for one of those XFL teams.
Yeah. But him and Doug Marrone.
Doug Marrone.
Yeah.
Doug Marrone.
Stay out of the NFL, boys.
Doug Marrone.
We don't want you here.
We could see quarterback here.
Pick is in.
They still got Von Miller. They've got Bradley Chubb.
What's going on with Von Miller? Didn't he just get into trouble?
I don't.
Allegedly, I think it's all still allegedly. James says he wants Fields. James says he wants Justin Fields.
I think James is saying that he wants Justin Fields because I just said I think Mac Jones would do. I'm just playing, man. It's Justin Fields. Honestly, either one of these kids is really a good fit in Denver.
And look at that. They're showing you Mac Jones right there. Let's see what's going on here for the Denver Broncos.
Is he on the phone?
He's in
number
9.
He was not on the phone.
Number 9 in the pick.
But he was reaching into his chest pocket for something when they cut the camera away.
Hour and a half in, and we're at pick 9. This is actually moving a little bit faster than I anticipated.
Well, it's because 5, 6, and 7 were instant.
Yeah.
So they knew as soon as they were on the clock. Okay, we're taking this guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool because it feels like it's almost like a fantasy draft.
Yeah.
Like some of the picks just go really quick. You know exactly who you're taking.
You just know who you want, and that's what
you know when you're getting to pick number 7, you see Bobby Wagner available. You're picking Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
with his X factor.
Greg, with Sewell off the board, who are you trying to expect to get to your Giants right now that you think the Broncos could potentially take? You think they could take the corner you want?
Yeah, I think they could. They could absolutely go ahead and pick up Surtain. I'd love to have Surtain. We need some more corner depth. We did just pick up Adoree in the off season, but
Adoree
yeah,
Jackson, yeah.
but we need some more depth. We've struck out on a lot of cornerback picks recently, and we're running real thin. Well, not even. I mean,
Apple's the big one I remember.
There it is.
Pick is in. Here we go. Is Roger Goodell going to be on?
Greg sounds disappointed. So
I'm guessing
that they took Surtain.
They might have taken Surtain here, which makes sense because Chris Harris left. They've been kind of depleted at the cornerback. AJ Boye didn't do much for him. This wouldn't be a surprise pick to me if it's a cornerback here. Yet.
AJ Boye was severely overrated.
Boo Goodell. Here we go. Pick is in. Pick 9. Denver Broncos. Here we go.
There it is.
Patrick Surtain. Here. Oh,
that is honestly, I am a little surprised that what's his name hasn't come off the board at corner.
The freaking Patriots are gonna get Justin Fields, man.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't go quarterback, but I don't hate this pick because honestly, this dude's dad had a great NFL career.
Yeah.
For the Dolphins, and I've seen that. Like that. Honestly, if you watch the tape, he plays so similar to his father. It's insane.
Yeah.
So this kid is a very safe pick here at number 9. I like the pick. I another guy that you can just plug and play.
Yeah.
Where I think that we might either see a run on corners now.
Yep.
Because you got 2 of the top 5 corners in this draft off the board already in the top 10.
Well, there's a lot of. I'll tell you what, the J.C. Horn pick I think was the biggest surprise in terms of corners.
Yes.
I don't think a lot of teams anticipated the Panthers.
I think I would have taken Surtain over Horn.
I just don't think a lot of teams anticipated the Panthers going corner at all.
I don't think so
in the first round. I think that was a throw pick. Surtain's probably gonna have a chip on his shoulder too. He's been highly touted. Alabama, the NFL Academy of freaking college sports.
Yeah.
How
many guys from Alabama is that now in the top 10? Is this the third one?
That's our first one right here.
No, it's not.
No, it's
that's right.
It's the second. Waddle and him.
Okay, yeah. So Waddle and Surtain.
Yep.
I like to try to keep track of that because obviously Alabama has been pumping out talent over the last 5 years.
Last 10.
It's kind of interesting to see how many players from Alabama end up in the top 10 and then how many end up in the first round.
And, and that's why I like the undrafted free agents that you hear about that come up. That's why I'm the underdog guy because a lot of those kids, if they don't go to a big school like Alabama, Auburn, or something like that, they get overlooked and they get an opportunity, and you come to find out they were just as good as the guys going to Bama.
Well, I mean, Levi Wallace was undrafted out of Alabama.
Yeah.
And Robert Foster, when we had him, whatever happened to Robert Foster?
Just let him go.
Well, no, is he in the league still?
He's a free agent.
Is he?
Yeah. This pick, I could have seen him doing a lot of things here. I could have seen O-line. I could have seen quarterback. I could have even seen another wideout, honestly. I know they got Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy from last year, but you got Bridgewater and Drew Lock. You're going up against...
No. They had Cortland Sutton. They got Jerry Jeudy and
the draft.
They got somebody else last year though too. Not Jalen Reagor.
Hamilton.
No,
Hamlin. Yes.
Hamler. KJ Hamler.
KJ Hamler. Yep.
They took those 2 and they already had Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
So they're in good shape at receiver.
But 2 corners off the board, top 10. We're on pick 10 now coming up.
Cowboys.
Who's going to be on there? The Cowboys, Greg's arch rival. This is going to be
I think they're going linebacker.
Really?
Sean Lee just retired.
Yeah, but they got Jalen Smith and Kyle Van Der Esch and
Leighton Van Der Esch.
Like, I don't know. They use pretty high draft picks on those guys.
Well, you got to fill a spot linebacker now.
True.
That and the Cowboys, honestly, they're set up pretty well for the most part. I know that they just lost Travis Frederick.
Mm-hmm.
Was it last year or the year before? So I could see them going offensive line, but really I think more of their needs are on defense.
No, but seriously,
they might honestly go corner too. It could be a third corner in a row.
It could be.
What do you think, Greg? You're our
I think it's definitely line
NFC East expert here.
I definitely think you're on the right track there. I think it's either going to be a linebacker or a cornerback, like you said. Their offense, because I mean, remember their offense was the best offense in the league before Dak Prescott got hurt. He was throwing for 400 yards a game. Ezekiel Elliott was running like wild. Fantastic offense.
We gotta
whoa,
trade.
What?
Have moved
What?
with the Cowboys.
The Eagles traded with the Cowboys.
Oh my
Whoa.
God!
What trade just happened?
Yo.
Oh,
The
in-
Eagles
in
want
division.
someone bad. The Eagles are taking a quarterback.
The Eagles are taking a quarterback.
They
here.
have to be.
Dude.
They got to be taking Mac Jones.
Yo, this is
Or
nuts.
Justin Fields.
Yo, the Cowboys just traded inter-division rival Philadelphia Eagles.
Yo, to jump
The
in front of
10th
the fucking to jump in
pick.
front of the Giants.
Oh my God, dude!
Oh, Greg,
This division is in.
I'll tell you what though,
shambles
this is
right now.
actually a good thing for the Giants because the Eagles are almost guaranteed to be going quarterback here.
Yep.
The Giants don't need a quarterback. The Giants can take whoever their top player is that's on their draft board right now. Well, not right now.
Yo,
but in the next
Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields quarterback competition. That would be amazing.
Wow.
And I hope they would just tear that team
I
apart.
guess wasn't there some drama with Jalen?
I want to
Hurts
know what they
recently?
traded. Can we
Yeah, I
try
do
to get
too.
an update?
I'm
on what
trying
they
to-
traded.
I'm trying to find it. I'm not seeing anything.
Usually
quite
it
yet.
comes up.
That is I would never in a million years think that the Cowboys and Eagles would make a trade together on draft day.
Yeah,
Nope.
the 10th overall pick for the 12th pick.
Oh,
And a third-round pick.
God.
Wow,
I
only a
don't
third
hate-
round
I
pick
don't
to move
hate
up
that
2
trade
spots.
for the Cowboys.
No, yeah, you pick up
Wow.
a third. Yeah, you just have to hope the
and all
two
you do
teams.
is lose 2 spots.
Well, the only thing is you got to hope the 2 teams in your division don't take the player.
Wow.
It just adds-
I'm honestly, I'm shocked right now. I not in a million years saw a trade like this coming.
That I would have seen I could have seen the Patriots trading up into that spot with the Cowboys.
Wow, but you're moving up 2 spots. So who did they think that the Cowboys and Giants were? You know what? This might be a corner. Who do you think the Giants and Cowboys are going to take ahead of you?
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver
For the
or
Giants.
corner. It's got to be something that they thought that
That's insane.
Maybe it's a tackle.
like, dude. I don't know.
This is actually very interesting.
This is on.
What do you guys think in the chat? Because this is crazy right now. I don't. The Eagles have so many needs that it's kind of hard to tell what they're doing. But I think that if you're moving up, you're going for a quarterback.
Well-
but I guess not. You know, you guys are making good points. It could be a corner.
They need a wide
It-
receiver
it's a-
real bad. They don't
they
have
do.
a good
They
wide
just
receiver core.
They did go out and just get Jalen Reagor last year, right, Greg?
Yeah, but that's one rookie.
Yeah.
Oh man, who
Plus,
did
Jalen
they?
Reagor is like you had Justin Jefferson on the board and you took. Jalen
And they're
Reagor.
letting the clock go down. This isn't.
There is some drama going on here. I think that maybe the Eagles might have baited the Cowboys into the 10 to get.
Yeah,
some more
this
draft
is
capital.
this is the Eagles wide receiver room right now. Jalen Reagor, John Hightower, Khalil Tate, Greg Ward, and Quez Watkins.
Alshon Jeffrey.
Nah, he's gone. He was a free agent this year.
Fulgham's gone too.
No, I did say I was about to say I also missed Fulgham and Arxia Whiteside. So other than what Fulgham and Rager and then Whiteside I heard of only because of the draft last year, like those aren't prominent names. It would absolutely make sense to go Devonta Smith right here. The pick is in.
Well, the Cowboys, the Giants don't really need a receiver, do they?
No,
So-
neither the Cowboys. So why would you trade up 2 picks to get the wideout though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be something that the Cowboy or the Giants want.
Yeah,
Well, there was a lot of
Giants
rumors that
both
the
up.
Giants were going to go Devonta Smith or
Makes sense.
Jalen Whittle. Both. I mean, the Giants.
It doesn't hurt.
Because that's the thing.
It
The
doesn't
Giants.
hurt the Giants.
Yeah, because the Giants. I mean, they need to find some answer. Again, Sterling Shepard. He's starting to get hurt more. Darius Slayton regressed last year. We did sign Kenny Galladay. But there has been plenty of talks about the Giants going wide receiver. I would prefer pass rush personally, but we'll get into that once the Giants are on the clock. I probably won't stop talking, but yeah, man. I mean, this is crazy,
This
dude.
is crazy. Yeah.
this is crazy. I've never seen. I don't think I can't remember the last time I saw an interdivision trade on draft day.
I can't remember the last time I've seen one. Period.
And with the whole division being basically in the next 3 picks.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think Washington's like 5 or 6 more picks after, but yeah.
Wow, like this
Dude,
is crazy.
Washington's in the 20s.
They let it. Okay, so they traded for the pick and then let it run.
No,
all
Washington's
the way
19.
down to like 20 seconds.
Yeah, I just guessed 20 because they were in the playoffs.
Pick is in. Goodell is walking on the podium as we speak on my end. I know we're a little delayed, so bear with me.
Yep, I've got the pick here.
Here we go. Roger Goodell.
I like the trade for the Cowboys as of right now. I'm super interested to see what
I'm
they're
gonna
doing.
blow my socks off. This is Justin Fields.
This is just a weird thing right now. Because I think whoever they were going to take is, unless it's something that the Giants desperately needed, that player was going to be there at number 12.
Yeah. Seriously. Yeah, I want it. Devonta Smith.
Devonta Smith.
So you trade a 3rd-round pick, you get Devonta Smith.
Well, you trade up.
Yeah, well, you gave up your 1st and a 3rd. You basically gave up your 3rd.
Yeah, you get 1st in return. Yeah, you basically gave up a 3rd-round pick for Devonta Smith. It makes sense to me with all the talk about the Giants going towards Devonta Smith. It makes sense. A 3rd-round pick, I mean, that's not a huge deal. It's just crazy to see a trade happen within division.
Seriously, that interdivision right there is wild. It's something the Cowboys, they didn't need it, obviously. They just went out last year, got CeeDee Lamb. They have one of the most high-packed offenses.
Yeah, whoever the Cowboys are picking, it ain't no receiver.
No. And now this kind of makes it's good for the Cowboys, too, because now they have options. They kind of probably have a good idea of where the Giants are going. I think the Cowboys are staying defensive side of the ball, whether it's the next best corner, because there are 5 really good corners in this in this draft that are supposed to be going in the 1st round. And when you've got teams like the Giants going out and getting Kenny Galladay that Greg's reiterated on, and now the Eagles move up getting these Devonta Smiths, they already have the offense. Now they need to get the corners to help slow down the opposing team's offenses because of picks like this, because the Eagles taking guys like Devonta. So, I mean, former Heisman.
Well, the Giants are on the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing that really stops it is offensive line. I was pushing for Sewell. Let's try that again. Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern is another really good talent out on the tackle, because the Giants need to find an answer, because we need to get rid of Nate Solder. He's way too expensive. He's not that good.
Yes.
So we need to find another answer, because Matt Parrott did very good for a 3rd-round pick, but that's for a 3rd-round pick. So I would love to see the Giants go, with Rashawn Slater, but also linebacker. I'd almost prefer linebacker, because if I had to choose between one of the two, we're definitely worse at linebacker.
I'll tell you what, Micah Parsons is sitting right there, and a lot of people are saying he's the best defensive talent in this draft.
Yeah. I would love Micah Parsons, Jeremiah Owusu, Koromoa. Let's go with that. I'd love him out of Notre Dame as well. Or even going edge rusher.
The Giants traded their pick.
Oh, they traded the Bears. Whoa.
The Giants traded their pick to the
We've got
Bears.
trades going on.
Oh my God!
You got
last pick 10.
Yo,
are you guys messing with me? Because I'm not seeing it.
No,
there it is. There it is. Oh man, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
100% Justin Fields coming off the board right here. 100% Justin Fields.
This is insane, man.
This is a quarterback. The Bears have moved up to pick 11. It looks pick 11 for the Giants. And there's been a lot of speculation going on with that.
It's got to be a quarterback.
They drop Mitch Trubisky. He goes to Buffalo. They bring in Mike Lennon. They say that he's going to start for them. They don't like it. Then they bring in Andy Dalton. They're saying the Rocket is going to be the starter. A lot of fans are unhappy.
The Ginger General.
Yep. A lot of people are unhappy saying that Dalton's not even better than Trubisky. So what do? You come up, you trade with the Eagles, with the Giants at pick 11, and this has got to be a Mac Jones, Justin Fields.
So Bears acquired number 11 overall pick from the Giants in exchange for the 20th pick, a 5th-round pick, a 2022 first-round and 4th-rounder. Let's go, baby!
If you're trading that kind of capital,
you're getting
a quarterback.
Let's go!
Because that's the only position that justifies that kind of draft capital.
So where did
they
move
that.
back to? Are they
20?
Pick? Okay. That might be a suitor for the Buffalo Bills.
To trade
if
up?
You're trying to trade up.
If you're trading up.
The rumor right now is, well, I don't know if it's still the rumor because obviously things happen throughout the day. The rumor that I have heard is that the Bills are going to try to trade up to take Etienne.
Travis Etienne, yeah.
Yes, but I don't. I hate that idea.
I am not trading up for a running back.
No, I don't even want to take a running back in the first round.
No.
I'm kind of with Mike Mayock on, or who was the guy that was really like, he's very against
everyone.
A lot of people are very against taking running backs in the first round, but there's a guy in particular now that's like just
I think it's
adamant.
Mel Kiper, isn't it?
Yes, it is Mel Kiper.
Yeah. I mean, it's rightfully
Maybe
so.
not.
I can't say anything. We drafted Saquon Barkley, so.
What's up, baby?
The pick is in, dude. Oh my god. I'm hyped.
Here we go.
I'm absolutely hyped. I love it. Giants are able to pick up another first rounder next year because we have holes we need to keep filling. So I love it.
That's a great trade for the Giants.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love
you move them back. I think
9
you're
spots.
Still,
9 spots.
The good thing is too for the Giants in this trade is you're still going to get a top 5 talent at any of the positions that you're looking for going forward. Whether that's linebacker, corner, even wide receiver. There's going to be some guys that are going to.
I don't know if you're getting top 5 talent at the corner position.
You are
at 20.
At 20, I think so.
You already get 2 off the board.
Well, think about it. I mean, you got 2 off the board out of you got 3 left. The next remaining teams are. I don't even know who's picked 12. Who's picked 12?
The Cowboys.
Cowboys
could take one.
Cowboys definitely going to take one probably.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I think corner is a stretch for top 5, but
top,
I think
top 5 talent. I mean, Asante Samuel is the 5th ranked cornerback on most boards, and they're saying he's 2nd round. So I think Giants definitely could still get a top 5. I mean, maybe Giants go for Asante Samuel and spoil your guys.
Honestly, they do a lot of that based on team need also.
That's a very similar trade to the Bills trading back and getting Tre'Davious White. The Bears move up, get their quarterback. The Chiefs move up, get their Pat Mahomes. So I bet you.
Well, now you know what's going to happen is that Giants fans are going to be like, dude, we could have had Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is killing us now. You're going to hear the same shit that Bills fans have been saying for years now about Mahomes and we could have had Patrick Mahomes. We could have.
I mean, if that means that we end up with a franchise quarterback next year, I'll take it.
This really couldn't have worked out better for the Bears, though, in this situation. That they weren't going to be able to afford to get into the top 10. They've had a QB carousel for the last 5 years. I mean,
longer than that.
Had a QB carousel since Jay Cutler.
Yeah. So to be able to have 2 of the top quarterbacks making
they're announcing the pick right now.
This is huge. Roger Goodell's on the podium for us right here, so Greg probably has the pick, so thank you for your patience, Greg.
Not quite yet, actually.
I just like that I'm able to watch the draft and that you guys can't hear it from my phone, so we don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
Other than you guys going do every 5 minutes. Gonna get us copyright blasted.
I'll add a third do. Here we go. Roger Goodell, pick 11.
Donate now. He's talking about join the NFL's pandemic recovery efforts.
Okay. All right.
So,
I think that, just for
I wonder how much money that the NFL takes off the top of that. Hey, we're losing losing money.
A short little thing. I think the NFL did it right.
With what?
With handling the whole situation with life right now with COVID. And
they've done it better than most leagues.
Which we said in the beginning, like, they had the most time to acclimate to the situation. So I thought that they handled that very well. So
there it is.
It's good. Here we go. Pick is in. This has got to be Justin Fields. Like, it's.
I might be Mac Jones.
And honestly, if it's Justin,
those are the 2 best left on the board right now.
And honestly, man, any of these young quarterbacks, they're walking into terrible situations. Terrible. Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, that's a terrible spot for him.
I think he's the best one, though. Honestly, I think he's got the best situation.
I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah, but I mean, they all stink. All the teams that they have stink. Saying that he's got the best situation. Justin Fields. There we go. He's off the board. Thank God he's not going to New England. I'm sure every Bills fan in the country is ecstatic right now for the fact that the Bears came up and took Fields from New England. That's huge. That is huge for the Buffalo Bills.
Because honestly,
Bears.
with those 3 picks that have just gone by, with the Eagles not taking a quarterback,
yep,
the Giants being on the board, they're not taking one.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys on the board, they're not taking one. The Patriots are at 15. You got 2 picks in front of you.
Yep.
It's based on the value of trades right now, it would have been pretty easy to jump up and get Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And if the Bears didn't already do it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really convenient for the Bears to know that 2 of the top quarterbacks made it out of the top 10 to be able to move up because you know that team's just like, man, what are we going to do? We suck at finding a quarterback. And you go out, you get a guy. The only knock on this kid that I've heard is that when he has a play, he kind of makes the decision up where he's throwing it before the play even starts.
Yeah.
Like, he looks in one spot. That's the only downside I've heard, which could
you know where he's going with the ball before.
But other than that, athletically gifted, very, very stout in the pocket. He can run, he can move, he's mobile.
He's got a good arm.
This is a good pick for the Bears. It's probably the most talent they've had at the quarterback position since Jay Cutler, honestly, in terms of pure athleticism and what this kid can do. I like it for the Bears' sake. Hopefully he can just come in and make a nice quarterback competition for you and make the guys around him better so that the Bears can be competitive. That defense has been laid to waste since acquiring Khalil Mack because I'll tell you what, that defense is top 10 every year, and the offense just can't put up more than 17 points on average.
The biggest problem with the Bears' offense is I wouldn't say it's Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell Trubisky just isn't the competent enough guy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
He's your backup quarterback now.
I'm glad that he's Bill now. I think that him and Josh Allen are very similar quarterbacks. I think that if Josh Allen ever goes down, Mitchell Trubisky could step in and do a good enough job with the tools that he has to win us a couple games.
Yeah.
Especially given our receiving core and what he had in Chicago was nowhere near as good as what he's getting in Buffalo.
Right.
So that and Mitchell Trubisky and Josh Allen actually have very similar stats over the same period of time.
Well, Mitch Trubisky, I like.
Or over, I think they had a year difference, and Josh Allen has the exact same stat line as Mitch Trubisky.
I like the fact that they got Mitch. Like, Mitch chose to come to Buffalo at an extreme pay cut. He even came out and said I was going to make millions more. Came extreme pay cut, sits behind Josh Allen, winning record 29-20, coming in to Buffalo. I mean, with what he had to deal with in Chicago, he did what he had to do. It might have been ugly, but he did it. He is a winning quarterback in the NFL, the most prestigious sport in the United States of America. Like, damn, dude, and you get him at backup. I'm blessed for that because we've seen it with Carson Wentz in Philly.
Yep,
getting Nick Foles in behind it, Jimmy Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett when Tom Brady went down, filled in very nicely for the Patriots. It's just something that you need in today's game. You cannot guarantee quarterback health. I mean, we just got done talking about Joe Burrow and these young guys. Like, that's just what sucks to me about this is these kids are so full of talent.
Cowboys pick is in.
And they get sent to these, like, the Jaguars O-line sucks. The Jets O-line sucks. The Bears O-line sucks. That's why they keep having quarterbacks come in and keep having turnaround because they can't accumulate good enough.
They also think that the quarterback needs to be the guy that's carrying the whole team on his back, which, yes, is correct, but also no.
Yeah.
You need to give him time to be able to develop. You need to give him time to be able to let plays develop on the field.
Yeah.
So offensive line is very important. I like this pick because you needed a quarterback.
Yeah, you needed it.
But the next step is addressing the weapons in the offensive line for the Bears. They only have Taylor Gabriel and Allen Robinson, or is Allen Robinson
Anthony
gone?
Miller? Or no, they got rid of Anthony Miller too.
Yeah, Anthony Miller played for the Buccaneers this year, didn't he?
No,
Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller.
Yep, Scotty Miller.
What do you think, Greg?
I'm going to be 100% honest. I was hollering at people in my house. I was not paying attention.
No worries.
I lost Greg in Discord.
But James did ask what Buffalo paid Mitch Trubisky, so I just wanted to let him know $2.5 million.
Yep, $2.5 million on a 1-year contract. That was what they paid him. And I'll tell you what, we got him for $10 million less than Cam Newton. And I would say right now he's better than Cam Newton. I think Mitch Trubisky could start for a quarter of the league right now. And
the Sabres played tonight too.
Taylor Hall scored against you guys.
Yeah, the Sabres lost 5-2 to the Bruins. Just an update.
Yeah.
Not super duper important.
I think after we figure out what this pick is, though, we're going to take a little intermission break here, and we'll be right back after. We're just going to take a little walk,
We're gonna
get up.
try to be back by like.
I'm literally
like,
saying
by
like we
pick
will literally
15.
be back in 5 minutes. Like we're not
By
gonna be
pick
gone
15,
long.
we're
Oh.
not going to be gone. Yeah, 3 picks, Graham.
Yeah.
I guess my time clock in my head is
It's going on
little
10. You know
it's
what?
a little screwed up.
The last 3 picks have taken as long
As
as
like
the first 5 picks, first 6 picks. So it's definitely slowed. The pace has slowed down. This is where you're going to see a lot of teams slowing the clock down, just trying to figure out trades. They're probably getting a lot of calls on value up here.
Yep.
These are picks where people are just experimenting. They're seeing who gets out of the top 10 that they might have had valued in the top 10.
This number 12 pick has already been traded 3 times?
Yeah,
this year alone.
So this is the area though where you start to see a lot of trades. Micah Parsons on the board. This could be a Micah Parsons pick. Going to Dallas again. I'm thinking
corner.
they're going corner. They got too much firepower in that division now, with the Eagles going and the Giants just accumulating what they have. Let's see what they do here. This guy's going crazy on screen. If you guys are watching at home, this guy's got style. I gotta get me a jacket like that. That guy is fired up.
Big pimpin'.
Man. Dude, definitely has an Escalade.
Parsons.
Micah Parsons. There we go. Yeah. Best linebacker in the draft. Best defensive talent in the draft by many. Happy for these kids. This is great. I actually really enjoy seeing families get to celebrate this moment with their kids because these guys worked their whole life for that. And I couldn't imagine personally being able to play on a professional level of baseball alone and to be in the biggest stage of the NFL draft, and who cares what round it is and what pick you are, just to be in this moment with your family and see it all come for full circle is really nice. But Micah Parsons is definitely going to cause some headaches in this division for you guys, Greg. That's
it's a little disappointing because obviously the Giants just traded out, so we obviously could have had him, and I would have loved the pick, but I still like the Giants trade because I like the extra pick next year. So I think that the Giants can definitely still fill the slots.
What's that hat he just put on?
Cowboys hat.
Are they doing a black and white theme hat this year for all the teams?
Not for all the teams, no.
Oh. But yeah, Micah Parsons, pick 12. We've seen this pick move around quite a bit so far, just this year alone. Great pick, safe pick for the Dallas Cowboys. You're getting a great linebacker talent who could come in and really start thumping around. He's very good in the pass coverage. But I think we're going to take a little intermission break here.
Quickly
shortly.
Before we do that, I would like to say I 100% agree with Greg on the fact that the Giants trading out.
Yeah.
I don't hate it at all. Even though they could have gotten this kid.
Yep.
I like the fact that they traded back because they got that extra draft capital in next year's draft. They got an additional pick in this year's draft. And you guys have a lot of holes that you need to fill. And the more picks you have, the better chance you have of filling some of those holes. Not to mention, if you do find a guy in next year's draft that you want and that that's your guy, regardless of where he's at.
Yeah.
You have you have more capital to potentially be able to move up depending on where you are in the draft. But yeah, I'm down for.
We will be right back. We're gonna have a little short break. We'll be back in 5 minutes max. And thank you everybody for tuning in so far during the NFL draft coverage that we're doing here. Our first live coverage. It's been a pleasure so far to this point. So make sure you like, follow, and share the Buffalo Binge YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. I think we're on Spotify, maybe not, but if we're not, we'll be there soon. But yeah, we're going to take 5 minutes, and Greg, why don't you send us away, bud?
Sounds good. See you guys in a bit.
Thank you so much for taking that break with us here. We are back at the Buffalo Binge. Happy to have you. Again, first time doing an NFL live draft, and it's been great to this point. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, follow, whatever you got to do. Leave a comment in our Dropbox here, and we can comment on what you're thinking. So far, James, thank you very much for reaching out and being a part of the show. That's been great.
Yeah, James, I also owe you an apology because I did get your message on Facebook this week, and honestly, because of school and work, I haven't really, I read the thing, just didn't have time to answer, and then I forgot to look back at it again. Yep. So I'm sorry I didn't get back to you on that. But obviously, yes, we are live.
Yep, we are live. So
it's food now.
Speaking of live, so what we missed, Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle to the Chargers, and the Jets just traded back up for the 14th overall pick.
Here we
to get in front of the Patriots.
There was a lot of talks. There was a lot of talks about them trading up with that second first rounder they already had from the Jamal Adams trade, and it looks like they've moved up into the 14th, and the pick is in. Mackenzie said, "Don't talk with your mouth full." So keep that in mind, boys. Also,
Thanks,
also watch with the clanging on the plates.
Hey, by the way, your cat's up here. Can you come rescue her?
Oh, yeah, we can all hear her, Alex.
We can all hear her.
Oh, seriously, I can hear her on your mic.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Jets trade back up. What do you think?
I could hear her over my freaking headphones.
I can too. I got Greg on.
She's never claimed to be quiet. I mean, in her defense.
No, but she hasn't.
Before the Jets pick is announced, offensive tackle for Slater. I really like it. You got to protect Justin Herbert. He was having to.
I just saw a cat get yeeted.
Like I was saying, you got to protect Justin Herbert. You got to make sure, like we were saying with Joe Burrow, if your quarterback's not on his feet, he's not throwing passes. So, I mean, I like the pick. I was saying earlier how much I liked the kid, and I would have been happy if the Giants picked him up. Obviously, we went in the trade direction, and I'm A-okay with that. What do you guys think about Slater over to the Chargers?
Well, I think you can't complain about the pick. You got Justin Herbert, former Rookie of the Year. Obviously, that's your future. Reigning, yeah. That's your future. And for that kid to come in and put up the numbers he put up on that team was remarkable to watch. I personally see a lot of Josh Allen in that kid. Tall, physical, athletic, can run, big-time arm. So they're just investing in their future, as they should. We've spoken on every single rookie quarterback taken to this point that we hope they protect these guys because they have the talent to keep progressing and further their development and becoming future stars in this league. It's just what you do around them to create that star. Justin Herbert obviously has a lot of fandom already, has made his mark in the NFL. So this is a very safe pick for them, going out, getting a tackle to protect him. And that's how you stay successful in this league. You take care of your quarterback, you get weapons around them, you protect them, and this is the result. You get nice players like Rashawn Slater.
I'm 100% with you on that, and it's nice because the Chargers didn't really have a lot of spots that they needed to fill. That defense is pretty good. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they have a pretty good receiving core with Keenan Allen and Williams there.
Yep, Mike Williams,
yes. They got the running back. They got Austin Eckler. They got Justin Herbert. Now it's just shoring up that offensive line and making sure that he's not going to get hurt. This is a great pick for them. Honestly, I don't think that there could have been any other spot that they could have gone. Maybe corner, but
I think honestly, we're going to stay corner until...
Yeah, every team could use a corner
Every team can use a corner.
Yes.
That is for sure, without a doubt. So who do we have on the clock as of right now?
The New York Jets. Their pick is in. They just traded for Minnesota's first round pick. Mm-hmm. I tried to make a sentence there, and it didn't happen.
That's okay. We all have issues sometimes.
Some more than others.
Hey, listen, this is past our curfew, man. We're not used to staying up this late. We're all old men here. But
says
this is what we
says
love.
you got, dude. I run on like 4 hours of sleep at night, man. I don't.
Yeah, I love the draft. This is the time of year. I'm not gonna lie, Graham and all my friends probably get really tired of this time of year with me because I get so in depth. I'm actually holding myself back from a lot of information that I would usually share and get stupid in depth with these players. I mean, if you guys ever go back to Woodbine podcast,
Can you believe I mean, we took an extended break. We're not going to be on it.
Yeah,
We're not going to lie. But can you believe that that's been a full year ago now? It feels like it's been so much
Right.
longer, honestly.
Yeah,
Right.
It's been a full year.
A full year. I kind of wish we had like an anniversary cake right here in front of us so we could show you. But no, but like I said, this is my favorite time of year. I'm very excited that we were able to do this and that the guys were willing to stay up and put on this show because it is going to be pretty late by the time we're done. I mean, we're at pick 14.
14. And
we're not even halfway.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
We're not even halfway there yet. It's 10 o'clock. So I just want to let you guys know I appreciate you being here with me to putting on this show. I love this. We put a lot of time and effort into this. So thank you guys. And thank you to all the listeners and followers out there paying attention and commenting. And like I said, and like we'll say probably much more throughout the show, make sure you like, share, follow. Tell your friends about it. We just want to get everybody involved. This isn't a show where we're just going to come up here and give you our opinion and say that's that. We really like the interactions, and we're not afraid to involve you in that communication. So, the Jets.
I agree. I'm sorry. I'm
no,
busy. I'm busy just stuffing my face.
Yo,
being fat. I'm sorry. I'm being fat.
The Jets
all right.
pick is in. Goodell's on the.
I was about to say Jets pick is in. After that, I want to know what you guys are eating.
Here we go. Roger Goodell. Probably one of the most hated men in the world for no reason. But the Jets, what do we got? Okay.
They took a guard. Okay.
Okay, so maybe they're anticipating a little offensive line run coming up here in the middle of the first. Is that
Could the
something
Patriots use an offensive lineman? Yes, they could.
I don't
I think that's why. Well,
I think they re-signed Joe Thuney back, right? Or where did he go? Where did Thuney go?
Greg, do you know that? Because I thought they had
Thuney?
re-signed him.
Yeah, Thuney.
But for everybody who didn't hear, it was Elijah Vera Tucker. That's who they picked. You guys just said a guard, but it was Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC.
We both reacted to just a guard.
Another big body guy. This is offensive line to me is something. Graham kind of said it earlier with every team needs a corner. I think every team should take an offensive lineman in every draft. At least one. I don't care what round you're in. It's just it's a high impact position. You're constantly you have the most wear and tear on you other than a running back. So you're more susceptible to
you're more wear and tear on you than a running back. You're getting hit every single play.
So the cause for injury is much more. So it's definitely safer for every team to take an offense, at least one offensive lineman, one corner draft. I think should be your motto. It doesn't matter what round. But this is definitely something where it looks like the Jets are trying to, you draft Zach Wilson. You go up, you get an offensive lineman. You said Mekhi Becton we got last year. So what if they plug this guy in right next to Mekhi Becton? Sure up the left side of that line, cover his blind side, and here you go.
Or you can put him on the right.
And the Patriots pick is already in. So I'm kind of speculating if this is Mac Jones or if this is going to be, honestly, a corner. I know we've been saying corner a lot, but I'm anticipating if the Patriots take this pick and use it how they are, that Stephon Gilmore might be on the trade block later in the draft.
Well,
to either jump back in or whatnot.
Well, and the thing of it is like how long have we been talking about Stephon Gilmore being traded? I mean, it's been going on probably at least 2 years now. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but
and it's all because of his contract.
I think they're going Mac Jones though. I think he's there. You got to take him, and you guys get to look into this evil eye for the next 15 years.
Well, the other thing is too is they don't really have a number one receiver still.
Yeah,
and who are the top?
When have they ever though? When have they ever?
Julian Edelman retired.
But maybe that changes now. They went out. They spent a lot of money on the tight ends.
The thing is that the wide receivers. I mean, Elijah Moore is the top receiver. I mean, and he's the 23rd overall prospect. So, I mean, it'd still be a little early to push for him. Like you said, they could possibly trade. I mean, maybe they trade back into the first round. I find it really hard to believe that it's anybody but Mac Jones, to be honest.
I think this is definitely an offensive player, though. They got Donta Hightower back. J.C. Jackson's back.
Oh, yeah, that defense is fantastic. It just they had half of them opt out last year.
I mean, they got Kyle Van Noy back this year. Mm-hmm. I'm interested in this pick, obviously, because it's the AFC East. But I like what the Jets have done so far with their two picks.
Not only that, this almost marks the halfway point of the first round.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we're only 2 hours and 20 minutes in.
Well, we're halfway to the Bills pick.
Yeah. Halfway there.
There it is.
Here we go. Let's see
And we haven't received it yet, so
it's got to be. It's probably Mac Jones. I mean,
I kind of hope not. But you're probably right.
it wouldn't surprise me.
Greg still wants to know what we were eating, but we'll tell him after this pick.
What'd you say, pot roast?
Yes. You weren't supposed to say pot roast. You get capricool. Let
What?
the capricool.
Man, you guys got quite the delay. Tell Goodell
Yeah,
to
we
speed
do.
it up.
We do.
Tell Goodell to hurry up.
It wasn't. It's Mac Jones. Damn it.
Mac Jones.
Okay. So the Patriots do get the quarterback
Of the future.
supposedly.
Supposedly.
I don't hate this pick for them. I mean, yes, I hate this pick for them because I don't want the Patriots to ever succeed ever again
I will say,
after 20 years of dominance.
I will say, out of all the quarterbacks, though, this is the one I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to play Trey. Listen, we gave the 49ers a lot of just because it was the third pick. If the 49ers had taken Trey Lance at 12, I wouldn't care.
Even if
But
they
you
took him
traded
at
three
6.
first round- yeah, if you traded it
The,
three first round picks,
the
for Trey
value
Lance,
the value wasn't
yes.
there.
But out of all the quarterbacks, this is the one that I would rather have in the AFC East than any of them. I think he's more one-sided than the rest of the quarterbacks in this draft. He's more of a pocket presence.
Yeah.
It's not. He just doesn't add the element of, being able to scramble on you. And the other thing is, a lot of people were talking about, is Mac Jones the success of Alabama, or are the players around Mac Jones who make Mac Jones? As in, your Jalen Waddles, your Devonta Smiths, your running backs, Najee Harris.
Yep.
I mean, this guy is literally around stardom.
Yes.
The thing is, though, is that Devonta Smith was not a name before this year. Jalen Waddle was the number one receiver. I think he was either injured or he opted out this season. I think it goes in Mac's favor that he put up the numbers he did after losing his number one receiver. Yes, Smith is a very talented receiver. He won the Heisman, of course. But I think you still got to have a guy throwing him the ball. I really liked what Mac Jones brings to the table. I mean, I think he's going to be a very good quarterback. It's right up the alley of what the Patriots like to do. I mean, he's not going to be scrambling around and all that, but Tom Brady didn't need to. So, I mean, Tom Brady's obviously one of the greatest of all time, and I don't know if Mac Jones would ever make it to that level, but I think he fits in really well. I think he fits really well with what Bill Belichick does on the offense there. Like you guys were talking about Jimmy Garoppolo possibly going to the Patriots. I think with Mac Jones and the contract he's going to have compared to Garoppolo, I think I would take Mac Jones over Garoppolo, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's a very good point.
Plus, Mac
I
Jones
can
is
hear
a clean slate.
I can hear the
Jimmy
disappointment in your voice, Alex.
I don't know.
It's hard to tell because you never really know with rookie quarterbacks. There's certain guys that come out that you know right away, but once you get past the top 3 to 4 quarterbacks in the draft, it's kind of a 50-50 shot. Look at Josh Rosen.
I don't know. I'm just not even. I'm really not flattered by this pick. The reason being is Mac Jones literally was not a first round talent discussion until about a month before the draft.
That's how it always is, though.
Yes, it is.
I know it's how it always is, but like there are other quarterbacks that are still deeper in the draft that I think can do what Mac Jones can do, and they did it with less talent around them. One being Kellen Mond out of Texas A&M, similar body type, big guy. Except Kellen Mond can scramble. He can run a little bit. And the only reason why he's not in the discussion right now is because Alabama's not on his helmet, honestly. If you compared Mac Jones and Kellen Mond, it might be very similar in stats. I feel like he just got pushed up into the first round because the quarterback carousel always ends up like that. There's always that one guy who's taken too early.
Yep.
And
Trey Lance is that guy right now.
They just get hyped up. And the good thing about Mac Jones is the Patriots didn't trade up for him. There's not going to be a lot of added pressure. I'm sure Bill Belichick's going to have him walk in there and sit behind Cam Newton or maybe even sit behind Jared Stidham. Collins might have been their highest rated, player in this draft at their pick.
Well, not to mention the Cardinals they're still kind of drafting for need, not so much for best available.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So they need a linebacker.
Yeah.
They need help in the secondary after losing Patrick Peterson. They need help in their pass rush.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the needs for the Cardinals are actually very similar to what the Bills need right now.
Now, didn't they draft Isaiah Simmons last year?
They did. He played mostly at linebacker as well, so they want to really shore up that linebacker. Now they're going outside. I believe Isaiah Simmons played mostly inside linebacker, actually.
Because they have, I know they have Hassan Riddick, Isaiah Simmons, and that might be and Chandler Jones in that 3-4. So Xavier, I mean, I like the pick. Xavier.
Well, not to mention Jordan Phillips.
I don't even know if you can say it's too early when you got Micah Parsons off. It literally went Micah Parsons, Xavier Collins. Those guys are 1-2 punch linebackers. You don't want to miss out on them.
Yeah.
And like Graham said, if you're drafting for need and you needed a linebacker, Xavier Collins is a damn good find at pick 16. I mean, you can't go wrong with Xavier Collins.
Yeah.
I like the pick. So far, I haven't hated any pick except the third overall pick. And it's not even because I hate the player. It's literally just because of the price that they were.
I kind of don't like who picked for the Giants or not the Giants. Oh Jesus, who picked after the Cowboys?
Cowboys was the Bears, I thought.
No,
they went Justin Fields.
No, after the Cowboys was Slater for the Chargers offensive tackle.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I'm thinking of something totally screwed up right now in my head.
But while you're thinking, I just wanted to answer. James asked in the chat if players that opted out last year, if that still counted as a year on their contract. No. Basically, their entire contracts just pushed back a year. So if they were signed until 2022, now it's 2023. I just want to make sure I answered that question. I saw that in the chat there.
I think there's some contingency that if they're not on the roster this year, if they don't make the team, they're not owed their salary.
Interesting.
I mean, I guess
there's some weird wording in there that where if you are not, like, we could have saved a lot of money on Starla Tulule for coming back this year if we released him.
Yeah.
If he's not on the roster day one, they'll owe him zero money.
Really?
Yes, I believe.
I'll fact check that.
I can't remember. It was something that had to do with last year's opting. The way to find out, Greg, is to look through last year's opt out period. There was a whole bunch of articles about what they were trying to do.
Know how to work Google.
So I think. Okay, so Xavier Collins did make it to a bowl game this past year, but I mean he comes in with 236 total tackles in 3 years, 25 of them for a loss, 7.5 sacks, 5 interceptions, and 3 forced fumbles, 2 touchdowns. I mean, so this kid's around the ball. He knows how to hit the gaps hard, and the reason why I like this guy for the Bills is he was good in pass coverage.
Yes,
obviously with the 5 interceptions, that tells you he can hook.
Well, it was
hook up to your
same thing with Parsons. Parsons is one of those guys that is considered able to cover the running back and the tight end, and that's why Parsons going to Dallas, is huge for them because they're going to be covering Saquon, or he's going to be covering Saquon, Miles Sanders in Philly,
and Antonio Gibson,
and is Darius Geis still
no
there
Antonio
in
Gibson
Washington or no?
No, Geis is a free agent.
But yeah, Xavier Collins, same thing. There's you got.
So I mean,
I guess the running backs in the NFC West have kind of dropped off in the last couple of years. There's no more Gurley, no more Marshawn Lynch.
That is kind of interesting. Last year at pick 8, the Cardinals took Isaiah Simmons, and then this year at pick 14 they take Xavier. So the last.
I mean, maybe they move.
Draft picks.
They took Kyler Murray the year before.
Maybe they move Isaiah Simmons, though. I mean, he played 13 different positions in college. Maybe they didn't like what they saw at linebacker. Maybe they move him back to safety again, or they move him out to a slot. I mean, that's definitely a possibility, too, if they want to move him around. We are currently waiting on Las Vegas. Their pick is in.
Yeah, I almost called them Oakland.
Las Vegas, pick 17, first round.
It's weird
for tuning in.
It's
with us
been
here at
Vegas
the
for
NFL
over a
Draft
year,
Review.
my dude.
It's been great. Hey, but they haven't had any fans in there yet, so this is actually going to be considered like the rookie season for that new stadium.
I mean, they played the games there, though.
Stadium.
It's enormous.
That is a beautiful stadium. I would honestly go.
All black
I'd
tinted
go.
window glass on the outside. It's kind of scary looking, to be honest. It definitely it looks like what the Raiders would do for a stadium, though, 100%. If it's them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Greg, by the way, your question earlier, we had pot roast with salt potatoes, corn, and asparagus and squash.
Yeah,
Look at you guys eating all
It was
healthy
delicious.
Kenzie is
Kenzie is a very good cook, and she can cook for me anytime she wants to.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start paying up, bud.
No.
What, does this look like a takeout window to you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what they
It's
do
called
with takeout
charity.
windows?
It's called
hey,
charity.
through the window.
Bro.
Isn't that funny?
Did you guys get the pick yet or no?
No pick yet.
Okay.
The selection is in. It is Alex Leatherwood, tackle from Alabama. Another Alabama player off the board.
Another Bama boy.
Offensive
and
guard.
Another tackle. You know,
It
they're
says-
saying tackle.
They're
right
saying
here.
tackle on.
ESPN says guard. Offensive lineman.
Alright. Offensive lineman it is. Can't go wrong. It's going to be a reiterating theme that we keep telling you. You got to protect your quarterback. You got Derek Carr. You've invested in Jacobs as the running back there. You got your weapon last year in Henry Ruggs, and you play the Chiefs. And you're in a.
The more time you give Derek Carr, the better off you're going to be.
And he actually beat the Chiefs last year.
Not to mention the fact too that John Gruden is very high on Marcus Mariota. Still, also very high on Nate Peterman, which I don't understand why.
Because he throws picks.
But this is a good pick for the reason that you help protect your quarterback.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
all
yes
it comes
and
down to.
no. I don't know what you guys are actually able to look at. So, for context for our viewers right now, Alex and I went ahead and made slides for the top 50 prospects, and we were sitting here asking ourselves when the first player not in the top 50 would be picked. Here's your answer. The Raiders doing what the Raiders do. He's ranked like 60th overall.
Get the hell out of here. Why are the Raiders always this team?
Because they only care about speed and looks.
I mean, I'm pulling up this kid now because I have no idea who he. I've heard the name, and obviously Alabama's good credentials, but I don't know what type of player he is.
Well, he's an experienced left tackle. There might be potential that they move him into guard, and there might be potential that they move him to the right tackle. Yes, he's got quick feet. I guess the kid's a good learner. It's going to be interesting to see what they actually do with him. He might sit a year behind somebody.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders are in a weird spot because they're competitive, but they also suck.
I think this guy's going to start because they just traded.
They did just trade an offensive lineman away.
They traded the guy back to New England. That Bill Belichick traded.
Trent Brown.
Brown, yeah.
The Dolphins' second first-round pick is in.
Man, this is great. You want to know what sucks is if the Bills trade out at 30, the Jets and the Dolphins would have picked 3 times before the Bills made 1 pick.
The Jets won't have 3 picks in the first
In
round.
the second round.
If the Bills trade out,
Oh, yeah.
Well, it depends on where they trade
Well,
back
it
into
depends
the
on where
second
they
round.
go in the second round.
well, the Jets are the second pick.
Well, what if they trade for the first
and the
pick?
Dolphins are the third pick.
What if the Jets or what if the
Valid.
Bills take the first pick in the
The
second
Jags
round?
trade
I'm
up.
just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know about this. I'm not sold on it. I mean,
I don't know enough about that kid. Yeah.
I'm doing some really quick reading, to be honest, but I mean, I'm seeing a lot of out of 10 scores, I'm seeing a lot of 6s.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Dolphins pick is in. You guys will get that in just a second.
Yep.
What do you think the Dolphins are going to do here? They're about to announce the pick.
Offense.
What do you think they're doing?
It's gonna be
Offense?
Yeah. You got to build it. You got. I don't know. Actually, this might be.
I could
They
kind of
lost
see.
Kyle Van Noy. This
Yeah,
might
I
be a
could kind of
pass
see them.
rush.
Well, I could kind of see them going linebacker because I know that they are a little.
Yeah,
They're kind of pushing away from Kiko.
and they
Alonso.
traded Shaq Lawson. Too.
Yes.
So they they got Brandon McKinney in that trade, but this might be pass rush right here.
It's good. It's a good spot for it. We haven't seen many defensive ends. Yeah, Josiah Phillips.
Man, come on.
Or Jalen Phillips.
This is considered the best pass rusher in the draft class. Took a year off last year. His downside. His downside is he has 3 concussions in like a year. The plus side is he is the most defined pass rusher in this draft class, hands down. When healthy, this kid has a quick first step. He's quick with his hands, loves the swing move. He likes to rip. It's just really unfortunate because he's seen a lot of injuries already, and that was one of those things. This was one of those players I was talking about earlier about teams getting their medical doctors on these players. Clearly, the Dolphins feel confident that he's going to remain healthy, stay healthy, and whatnot, but we've gone through this with Mitch Morse with concussions, and we've had players well before that. This can become serious. This can become a week-to-week thing. If he gets knocked in the head just wrong, I mean, that could be his career, depending on how bad it is. So I hope the best for this kid just because he is the bona fide best pass rusher in this draft class.
I agree with you. This pick actually kind of scares me a little bit because we don't exactly have the best pass rush right now that we've had in previous years. Mm-hmm. Not that we're used to, I should say.
Yep.
We need a guy like this on our team.
Yep.
The Dolphins pick him up. The Dolphins had a player that they picked in the first round the same year that we took Ed Oliver that was a defensive tackle.
Yes.
Wilkins. Yes.
Yep.
Who's also pretty good. The Dolphins have shored up their defense immensely.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense is taking steps forward to try to be on the same level as us. I think that we need to get a top-tier pass rusher or at least a guy that's considered to be in the top 5 in this draft at the pass rush.
Yeah.
To be ahead of the Dolphins.
Right.
Is where I'm going with that.
I agree. So, Greg, at pick 19, we have the Washington football team coming up. Your division has definitely shown that they cannot be predicted so far in this draft. Where do you think that the Reds? Where do you think the football team is going to go?
Give me 1 second. My camera looks like poop.
They're still trying to do the naming thing for the Washington football team.
Really?
Yeah, there was a poll and stuff.
I hope they keep the football team. I love it. I love it that it's just the Washington football team. But I think they're going to go offensive tackle here. Christian Darrisaw is a really strong prospect outside of or coming out of Virginia Tech. Big guy, loves the fight in the trenches, picks in, so we'll see that in just a minute. And they need to make sure that they can shore up the offensive line for whoever ends up being their quarterback. They obviously have had a revolving door. They had Kyle Allen starting.
Who is their quarterback right now?
I believe they would say their starting quarterback.
Heineke.
No. I think it's either Kyle. I think it's Kyle Allen or Fitz.
Did Fitz come back?
Yeah, Fitz
signed with Washington football team.
Dude, this guy needs to go to the Hall of Fame just because.
The only way he can go to the Hall of Fame is if he gets voted into a Pro Bowl.
Let's vote him in.
What?
Yeah, he's got to get voted into a Pro Bowl this year.
Vote Ryan Fitzpatrick.
All right, the pick is in. It's still a commercial break for us.
Oh, okay. That means they're going to be waiting for a while, so we can keep talking then. But yeah, I mean, I think that they could. I mean, the Jeremiah Owusu, he's still on the board. He's actually on some boards. He's considered a higher linebacker than Micah Parsons even. So, I mean, you could even
What about that tackle from Northwestern you were talking about? Is he still on the board?
No, he got pulled. He got picked by...
Oh, no,
The Chargers?
Rashawn Slater, yeah. Northwestern,
yes, the Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay. There's been three offensive linemen taken.
Christian Darrisaw is the top tackle prospect right now on most boards.
Okay.
So that's why I was saying I could see them go him, but like I said, I mean they would use some help in the inside linebacker as well. Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa. One of these days I'll pronounce that right. But yeah, I mean I could see them going with either one. Because their defensive line is incredible. Their secondary was all right. I mean, maybe they go maybe they go cornerback, but
They got pieces in that secondary that can,
Yeah.
upgrade it a little bit. It might be pretty dangerous. This
But-
is also the area where a lot of people are saying the Bills might come up from anywhere from 19 to 25 is what I heard.
Well, it ain't gonna be 19.
Yeah, it picks it.
I
obviously,
mean,
but
maybe it'll be 20. Maybe the Giants and the Bills will trade. That'd be fun.
maybe.
Yeah. Well,
That could happen. I mean, there's plenty of good corners
Yeah.
still on the board.
If I had to put money down, though,
now,
I think they're going Darisaw.
Neither of you think that the Washington might reach for a quarterback here.
No.
I don't think they're going quarterback. You know what though? Your pick is still on the board for the Bills.
Away?
No, the Alabama defensive tackle.
Yeah.
You were saying might be there.
Yeah,
Barmore.
Yeah,
Barmore.
Barmore. Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be closer to the end of the first round, but they are really milking out this pick.
He'll go somewhere in the 25 to 30 range, or 32.
So far, I'd say that the 49ers pick and the Raiders picks are the worst picks so far in the draft.
But even, like you said though, even the Niners pick's not bad. It's just where it was is bad. Like,
Yeah.
I understand picking Trey Lance. I mean, that's all fine and dandy, but trading up that
It's a reach.
yeah.
Here we go. Roger Goodell on the podium. Pick 19 is in Washington football team. Fingers crossed for you, Greg, here. Let's see if they get somebody who's going to be a difference maker for that division.
They picked
Jamin Davis.
That is a
Jamin Davis. I'll tell you what, that's a good pick.
I feel like that's kind of a reach for him, but it is a good pick.
He's been all over.
Yeah,
he's been
he
like
has.
anywhere. I've seen him in mock drafts from
In the
first
third.
to the third round.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Was him in the third.
And I think it just all came down to individual teams and how they like I said, every team values people differently. This guy might have been the highest rated player on Washington's board, but could have been in the third round for like the Seattle Seahawks or something.
Mhm.
Like it every team's different based on how they structure their scouting process and everything else. So Greg, Jamin Davis. I'm gonna call him Jamin just because
I mean,
Jamin.
Not the pick that I was expecting, but I mean the position makes sense. I mean, I don't know, maybe I missed something while I was reading about this Owusu guy, but I was expecting linebacker. I mean, they picked linebacker, just not the one I was expecting. But pick makes sense. They got to shore up that defense. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if with their next pick they go offensive line because they had two quarterbacks get hurt behind the line this year. And that doesn't make good for business. They were able to win.
We didn't even mention that Alex Smith retired.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's gone.
Yeah.
So another fun fact about what's going on right now is that now that we're at pick 20 in the draft, the number one ranked corner is still on the board.
Yes.
And that is Caleb Farley. Another one being, I think his name is Greg Newsome from
Yes.
Northwestern. Those two guys right there were considered to be arguably the top two cornerback prospects in the draft. J.C. Horn was drafted for good reason. The kid's a freak of nature.
See, I've seen the two guys that were taken off the board as 1 and 2. I haven't really been seeing Farley and Newsome up in that 1-2 spot. I saw. I mean, Horn and Surtain had flip flop 1 and 2, but those were the top two prospects in everything I read just about.
The one I read was Caleb Farley was going like pick 8 to the Panthers, or somebody was trading up to get him. But that it's nice though because that leaves room for the Bills. It also leaves room for the Giants right here. I think the Giants are going to be going corner for some reason. There is still the offensive tackle that you were talking about, Greg, that might even make a slip in right here. But you're a Giants fan. Your pick is finally up. You traded out. How do you feel? Where do you think you're going? And are you excited about the pick that's coming up, even though some of the guys you wanted in the beginning are gone?
Oh, yeah. I mean, no doubt. I mean, always excited to see, the Giants on the draft board.
I'm just waiting for the oh my God from him.
Well, you already got that.
Yes. This might be a Dave Gettleman pick right here.
Well, Dave Gettleman already broke his track record of never trading in the first round, so who knows what this guy's going to be up to this year. It might be his last draft, so he might just go crazy. Who knows?
Hey, even if it is his last draft and giving you a first-round pick on the way out the door is a good one for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, and hey, that makes us more
Yeah, the next guy they hire is going to go, thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. That makes it more desirable. That's the word I was looking for the
Take
next
out for
GM.
some pot roast.
I know a girl. She does a great pot roast.
Yeah.
God, that just sounds so much worse than I intended it.
Yes,
Anyways,
you did.
Oh, yeah.
Giants
You're on the other side of the
football.
screen.
I would love to see them go linebacker or tackle. Honestly, I still think we need another
So you
tackle.
want the Owosu? You want Owusu here?
I mean, like I said, I'd be okay with him. I think outside linebacker or maybe even an edge rusher. Maybe grab a D end. That Quiddy Pay or however you say his name from Michigan. He's still on the board.
Dude. I don't know what it is. I said Jalen Phillips was the best pure pass rusher because he is.
Yeah.
I think Quiddy Pay has the tangibles to be the best D end in the draft.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
And the pick is in.
Not to mention he's better.
Yeah.
I feel like he's better in the run game
Mm-hmm.
than Phillips is.
Yeah. Quiddy Pay would be a nice pick here. Or Gregory Rousseau. Greg, I think Gregory Rousseau. The other
I think Rousseau is going to be dropping though. I think the Giants might even have a chance at him in the second round. But
I think late second round.
well, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
honestly.
if the Giants are going to be the 40-something pick. If they were the 11th, they'll be like 44 or 43.
Yeah.
well, they're definitely taking their time, so I'm wondering if they're going to be
picks
Wonder
in
if
on
they're
my
fielding
side.
calls.
I mean, they were probably
yeah,
fielding
pick-
calls,
okay.
but I do have that the pick is in. So
Oh,
we'll be
boy.
good.
It just said the pick is in for us.
the first member of our podcast stream here finally gets to witness.
Hey,
his
don't
team.
discredit James. He's been here the whole time. His team picked.
Well, I meant a group here. This is Greg's team here, so hopefully the night starts well for us here on the show in terms of our teams making good picks that we like.
I'm just gonna
But
sit here
James,
and stare
yeah,
at this
seriously,
thing.
thanks for tuning in, man, and thanks for being a part of the discussion. We love having you, and everybody else. Make sure you like, follow, share the Buffalo Binge, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Twitter, Twitch. We're everywhere. Just like, follow, share, tell your friends about us. We would love to get everybody involved in the conversation. And
Yeah.
thank you for joining us here at the live draft coverage. First time we've ever done it. So
Yeah.
don't-
And don't forget, if you guys are watching this after the fact, we will be doing another podcast live on Sunday at our usual time at 1:00.
Yep.
Going over basically everything that's going to happen this weekend with the draft.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. But the pick is in.
Are you guys on a
Round
commercial break? They're taking their time.
No,
No,
they're just taking their time.
Come on.
We're seeing Giants.
This is how all this is how it always happens.
Yep.
Are you watching, or are you just getting updates, Greg?
I've just got a live draft cast going.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, yours is going
Round one,
much
pick
faster
20,
than ours.
10:44 p.m. It's been a hell of a ride, boys. Thank you for joining us.
I can't
here.
believe that it's been almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
And
Have you ever watched the draft, dude? It's like 6 hours.
Yeah, I have watched it, and it's
You should have heard Graham. I'm like, Graham, you ready to get home by like 2 a.m.? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, bro.
no. I told him I might just crash over here, but it's probably not going to happen because I didn't bring any clothes for work tomorrow. I mean, I could show up in sweatpants, especially if, yeah.
Yeah. Especially, yeah. Friday.
All right, the Giants pick is being announced right now.
Roger Goodell is on the podium. Here we go. No word from Greg yet, so he's containing his emotions.
Okay, they took a wide receiver. They took Tony.
Wow.
That's kind of a little bit of a surprise.
Human joystick, though.
Yes.
This kid is a human joystick.
Yes, he can
Senior.
make people miss in small spaces, and
Greg hates this pick. I can hear it in his silence. He hates this pick.
he thinks that they could have gone better.
Yes.
Not so much.
Well, I think the way you're looking at it is as the Giants, and we're just gonna tap into Greg's brain. We have not talked to Greg yet. We still do not have his emotions, so I'm gonna try and.
Oh,
guess.
trust me,
Greg
James is seeing plenty of my emotion right now.
So I'm just gonna say this: you are in a division now with the Dallas Cowboys. When Dak Prescott is healthy, the most potent offense in the league. The Eagles obviously traded up to get Devonta Smith, and the Washington football team does not have jokes at their playmaking. I mean, Terry McLaurin's very good. Curtis Samuel just went over there from Carolina. Antonio Gibson. So I see where Greg's coming from wanting to be on the defensive side of the ball or getting the best tackle, because you need to be able to shut down your division to even have the consideration of talking playoffs. So, Greg, if I'm far off from that, uh, let me know. But there's no doubt in my mind that this kid's a playmaker. It's not that the kid's bad. I can just see, Greg, if you don't like this pick, I can see why. But you're definitely getting a playmaker and a home run hitter in this kid. And honestly, I don't know if there were wide receivers better just in terms because of height and like the tangibles, but this kid is a playmaker, senior out of Florida, great pick in terms of playmaking ability.
I hate it.
We knew it.
I hate the pick. We literally finally just got rid of Golden Tate after having two major slot receivers on our roster for the past 3 years, I think it was. Now we pick up another one who has injury problems. The pick doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why we go and pick up another slot guy. We have Sterling Shepard. He also has injuries. So we literally just got another Sterling Shepard who's, I don't even think he's as good as Sterling Shepard. I hate the pick. It's just totally unneeded. If it wasn't going to be one of the top 4 wide receivers, and I see you guys giggling, but I'm absolutely fuming right now. If it's not going to be one of the top 3-4 guys in the wide receiver, we should have went defense. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Our defense or offensive line. I mean, Danny Jones can't even stay on his 2 feet to throw the ball. So, I mean, Kenny Galladay's not even going to get downfield. Sterling Shepard's not even going to make his cut. Evan Ingram's just going to drop the ball like he always does. This doesn't change our offense at all. This literally doesn't improve our team whatsoever. And honestly, I would have rather had the 60th overall offensive guard.
Yo, Gettleman's done. Greg is breaking up with Dave Gettleman right now.
You know what? I think I see the game plan here. Gettleman was like, you know what? I'm going to draft this wide receiver. And then next year, I'm going to draft a new quarterback and a left tackle in the first round.
So, this is my take on this. I see what's going on here. I think Gettleman wanted Devontae Smith. When the Eagles traded up to take him, it threw a wrench in his plan. He had to trade back, and now he wants a wide receiver, so he's taken what he feels is the best available wide receiver on the board.
That nobody was answering their phones because I was looking it up because I was surprised about the trade earlier in the draft. It just like apparently there was talks between the Eagles and Cowboys is like 4 or 5 hours ago, which is a lifetime in draft day time. Like you knew that the Eagles were looking to trade up. Why didn't we trade up if we wanted him that bad? I would have taken Elijah Moore over this kid. I don't like injury history. I don't like injury.
Especially only giving up the third, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying, because you could have moved up too, if the Eagles only gave up the third on top of their first. You know, you guys, I feel like you guys would have done that if you wanted a Devontae.
So to be fair, though,
to
be fair, Gettleman gets a playmaker when he is healthy.
We already have playmakers. We have Kenny Galladay. We have Saquon Barkley. We have Sterling Shepard. We have Evan Ingram when he decides not to drop the ball. Danny Jones just can't throw the ball because he doesn't have an offensive line. We can't stop a run because we don't have a good defensive line. We need better linebackers just to keep that defense organized. Yeah. Oh, I am fuming. Go, Graham.
But what I was saying is that you get a playmaking wide receiver who, all in all, isn't that bad when he is healthy. You also add an additional first-round pick in next year's draft and an additional third in next year's draft. Or was it a fourth?
Just the first. I think it's just the first.
First and fourth.
4 picks.
First and fourth.
Yeah. So you gain basically this trade is the real winner of this first round for the Giants, not so much the pick.
Yeah. So where are we at in terms of, Greg, if you don't mind trying to figure this out for me, where are we at in terms of the top 50 rankings and who is sliding down the draft right now? Is there anybody that we can consider as falling in this first round?
According to the rankings, I have, like I said, I've got this Jeremiah guy. He's up in the top 12, the linebacker from Notre Dame. Safety, Trevon Morig.
Horrig.
Yeah, Morig,
he's
yep.
Good too.
Yep, he's still available. Quiddy Pay.
Very good.
He might go right
Farley,
now to the Colts.
Darasaw. I mean,
who else is there? Is that Owe guy? That
out of Penn State.
But here's the thing. When you said Owe at our last podcast, I was like, how did Aaron Maben work out?
Yeah.
I was like, in my head, I just want to stay away from Penn State pass rushers. I have no idea why. I just have like a phobia of them.
Yeah, I'm with you on that actually.
Aaron Maben.
This kid looks legit though.
Yeah, I think you're right though. The Colts do need a safety. I think Morig would be a good fit for them here, and he looks a lot like Bob Sanders, and I miss Bob Sanders a lot. Do you remember him?
Yeah. Who was they? I mean, they just lost Malik Hooker too in free agency.
Yeah. This could be Morig right here, and that wouldn't be a bad pick. That would be a bad pick at all.
James chimed in. He said, seeing Greg on camera when the pick came in, and I could tell he was very upset. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
We're not watching Greg right now, James. We're watching the draft on my phone. Yeah. I occasionally switch back. I asked AY here to pull up our stream on his
stream on here.
Yeah, I asked you to a while ago, and he never did.
I was eating my pot roast.
No, it was way before that.
I was thinking about pot roast.
No, you weren't, because it was like
I was watching the cat.
It was at like
That's
was at like the number 5 pick.
Oh my god, I'm so mad. I'm so mad right now.
So the first
Greg, I mean, you still got another pick early in the second round, and they might
do something.
They might.
Who'd they take?
Nobody yet.
Nobody
the
yet?
pick is in.
My pick. I just got the pick, so you'll see it in a minute.
Goodell is walking to the podium right now.
All right, here we go. Goodell. You are now interacting. Where do I go to watch this?
I see. I just get notification on my phone when it starts. Check your notifications, or go to the. Are you on the page? Just scroll down.
Did you guys get the pick?
They took Quiddy Pay.
Okay.
That's not a bad pick at all.
Not for them, no. You get DeForest Buckner last year in the trade. You were beefing up that D line, and they, that defense really turned some heads the past couple years, and have been able to get after.
You get the sound off on your computer?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yep. So that is off. Oh, there's Greg's beautiful face. Finally, Greg, all day long.
I've
been
Greg
avoiding
again.
this face. Look at this. But yeah, so Quiddy Pay goes to the Indianapolis Colts, senior out of Michigan. Some good product there. Some very good product.
Yeah, some great product that the Giants could have used.
Yep, that the Giants could have used. So
with the worst pass rush in the NFL.
This is becoming very intriguing for the Bills.
Greg is so salty right now. I'm so sorry.
The Bills are how many picks away right now?
8.
8.
8 picks away. There is some seriously good secondary talent left.
I don't think you guys are even going to have to move up.
For secondary.
I don't think we're moving up, but here's the thing. If they want ETN and they pass on one of those secondary guys, I'm going to start scratching my head and be like, dude, come on. I don't, because everybody that I've heard talk about up to this point has been saying, oh, the Bills need a home run hitter at running back. Well, you signed Matt Breida. The dude literally gets clocked at 25 miles an hour when he runs. How much faster do you want?
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything in the past 3 years.
Yeah, but the thing is he also hasn't been used. We talked on our podcast about how
Miami
he was never used.
Yeah, Miami didn't use him at all.
It was just Myles Gaskin.
Well, because he was apparently that's part of my point is he obviously wasn't showing them anything that they were impressed by if they weren't giving him touches.
Yeah.
Like they don't just give the guy no touches because they don't like him. I mean,
but if you're gonna draft a running back in the first round just because he's fast, I don't agree with that pick. Like I want
Etienne
down back.
Etienne is a
very talented back. He is more than just speed. He had over 1,000 receiving yards. He had over 2,000 rushing yards in his career. He is a very talented running back. And honestly,
I just want to know why you're so hung up in the secondary.
Dude, you got Levi Wallace on a 1-year deal.
Okay.
Jordan Poyer's second year of his contract is up after this next year.
Okay. They extended Poyer.
Yeah, for 2 years. Last year.
No, they extended him from his current contract. He's got an additional 2 years.
Well, I just think we're on it. I feel like we're honestly thin at secondary. Taron Johnson, like we're not going to be able to afford all these guys. We need to start getting some rookie contracts in there, and to get a fifth-year option on some player like a Caleb Farley or a Greg Newsome or a Morig who can play these big nickels against teams.
We got 2 third-round picks and a late second. You can use those to move up in the second round to get a guy.
I don't know.
Sorry, excuse me. Brandon Bean loves to move around in the draft. I think that's really what's going to happen.
I just can't justify drafting a running back in the first round.
No, I'm not even saying running back. I want edge. I want a pass rusher. Our pass rush is not as bad as the Giants, but we're in the same boat as the Giants as far as pass rush goes in my mind. We need something that's going to put some pressure on quarterbacks, especially when you got young rookie quarterback in New England now. You got a young rookie quarterback in New York. You got a second-year quarterback in Miami. I want to be able to get pressure in their face every play and just mess with them.
See, that's why I like Peyton Turner though in the second round from Houston. Peyton Turner is an edge rusher that I really.
The thing is you got better pass rushers available on the board because teams are picking for need and guys are starting to slide.
Right.
So
I don't know.
So I think I'm definitely going to side with Alex on this one. It would definitely make sense to get another secondary kid in there because I went ahead and pulled it up. Jordan Poyer is a free agent in 2023. You guys have one more year of contract on Levi Wallace, Taron Johnson, Saron Neal, and then Cam Lewis. So you guys definitely are going to be losing some pieces next year. So if you could get somebody on a rookie contract, like Alex was saying, it would definitely make a lot of sense.
Titans are on the clock.
Yeah, they still got a minute.
And that's where I'm at with it. And that I could also say the same case for the wide receiver core. That's why it won't surprise me if we see a wide receiver taken in this draft, not the first round, but after this year, the only 2 wide receivers that are actually locked up in a contract are Steph Diggs and Gabriel Davis. Other than that, Cole Beasley finds himself in the same situation John Brown was in this year, where his cap hit's going to be $8 to $9 million, and they might choose to go youth there. That could happen. So why not go out and get another stud wide receiver late in the rounds like you did Gabe Davis, and just start filling. You need contract friendly guys, and that's why I'm saying if you have people like Greg Newsome and Caleb Farley available there, or the Morig safety, that's clutch because these are 5th-year option guys, and you got them for 5 years on rookie contracts. You can do a lot with that. So and they're all 3 of those guys could have been viewed as from like early first round picks. Like from 10 and up, they were projected to go anywhere.
The Titans pick is in.
The Titans pick number 22.
I mean,
round 1.
Just to finish the thought before the Titans pick does come in. I mean, even your guys' offensive line, I'm looking at it. Like, you guys have your starters all locked up pretty well. But, I mean, you guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 linemen with 1 year left in their contract. So, again, I mean...
Typically, Brandon Bean likes to give those 1-year deals to linemen. The starters he has paid and he's extended for multiple years already. The guys on 1-year deals are like Ike Bodker and pretty much the backups, and they're all prove-it deals from free agency.
Gotcha.
Bobby Hart. Who's the other one that we just signed?
Jamil Douglas.
Yes.
So, I don't know. We'll
but
see.
I fully expect them to take an offensive lineman at some point in this draft.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be offensive line, corner, defensive line. I think it's going to be the main emphasis here. And if a tight end sneaks to us later in the draft, we're going to take him.
I mean, you and I both have done our own little mock draft.
Yeah. And according to that, we're pretty smart.
Well, sort of.
All right, I got Roger Goodell walking up to the podium as we speak right here. Pick 22, round 1. 11 o'clock, Graham. We made it to the 11 o'clock hour.
3 hours and 5 minutes.
I'm usually up this late, but I'm usually like in bed just.
Yep.
Graham, you say you go to bed early every night, and that's why you never talk to us on the phone.
I'm in bed, but I'm not like sleeping.
Then why do you ignore our calls?
I just want to let everybody know Greg has done a great job for us being able to put these names up on the bottom as you're seeing the picks go by. Getting this image that you see on your computer screen. Greg has been a huge help for us.
Yeah.
Great producer, and it's been a great fun ride tonight and every night that we get to do the podcast. So make sure you like, share, follow the Buffalo Binge on Twitch, Twitter, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. We're everywhere. Instagram. Go ahead, hit us up. Tell your friends. Let's have them join the Bingers and get this party rolling. Goodell looks like he's having a good time for the first time in 20 years up there.
Well, I think he really missed it last year.
Man.
Yeah, I think so too. Sitting in his basement doing it.
Yep. I kind of like that feel, though. I'm not going to lie.
I didn't.
I kind of liked it. I kind of liked
like a
it.
Zoom call, and it felt boring.
I just like it.
You just get bored with the NFL draft in general, Graham.
No.
Caleb Farley off the board.
Okay,
Pick 22.
this is the guy that you said
That's
is
the guy
the top corner in the draft. I've only seen him on like 2 mocks where he's the top corner, but I have seen, like Greg said, I've seen Surtain and I've seen JC what's his last name?
JC.
JC
Horn.
Yes, JC Horn is those would be in the top 2
I
mostly.
mean,
but Caleb Farley is a definitely top tier corner.
Oh yeah,
coming out of the draft.
I mean, a lot of people said last year he was another corner who opted out of the 2020 season, did not play, and many speculated last year he was the best corner. And it speaks for itself right there. 6 interceptions in college. That's no joke. That's really, really good. The crazy thing about all these corners coming out, man, is they're hybrids.
Yes,
they're all like 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". Caleb Farley's 6'3", like 210 pounds, and the guy can run a 4.40.
Yeah,
it's these kids coming out in today's game are just a different breed than what we're used to. They're not. I mean, it used to be almost few and far between when you found
a guy running a 4.3.
Yeah, and now it's like every team has 2 really fast corners.
Well, not to mention you got 10 to 12 guys every year that are running like sub 4.3.
Yep.
40s now, and it's insane that just the speed that's coming out of college, making the game faster. A lot of people think it makes the game a lot more dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes and no on that.
Listen,
but
man, everybody's just trying to be the best version of themselves, and that's what it takes to get to the NFL. Greg, Caleb Farley off the board, pick 22. How do you feel about it? Do you think that's a good spot for him, considering he had some health and medical issues?
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough when you're taking the kid with, past history of medical issues. I mean, like I was saying with the Giants pick, I mean, that's what always scares me. But it makes sense. I mean, because they signed, who was the cornerback for the Patriots that made the interception against Russell Wilson at the line?
Logan Ryan?
No.
That was Butler. No.
Butler, yeah. Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler.
They signed him. I mean, I haven't heard anything about him since. So either he's doing just enough or he's not doing as well as they anticipated. So I mean, it makes sense. I mean, having a good secondary is always obviously a good thing with how pass heavy the league is. I mean, every position's good when you look at it in a different sense, but yeah, no, I mean, especially if they could get this kid at a bargain, they didn't have to trade up. They were sitting there at the 22nd pick and got somebody who was maybe a top 20, top 15 talent.
Yeah, no, couldn't agree more with that. So pick 23 is going to be going to the Minnesota Vikings.
They got the 23 from us last year, didn't they?
Got 27.
No, you guys weren't that late.
No?
No, you lost in the first round of the playoffs last year. So it
Yeah,
might have been the 23rd.
I think it was the 23rd pick.
But yeah, last year they take Justin Jefferson, who ends up being probably the best rookie wide receiver in the draft class. I think he was actually considered the best rookie wide receiver.
Yeah.
Statistically.
Yeah, so the Vikings coming up here, I think Kirk Cousins, you got Adam Thielen, you got Justin Jefferson, you got Dalvin Cook, maybe defense here, maybe D-line, linebacker.
They bolstered their defensive line through free agency and through a couple trades this year. Their pick is in already.
Yeah, they're ready to roll. They're like, man, we've been waiting long enough.
Honestly, that Barmore might be going here.
He could.
If you're thinking defensive line.
Yeah.
They would like to shore up the middle of their defensive line a little bit more. They've added a couple edge guys. It could be linebacker.
I mean, they could use the safety help too. So I mean, maybe this is when we see Morey go off the board. They definitely have a lot of options here. There's a lot of good players available. I'm looking at the top players available, and I mean, nobody quite meets their needs, which is honestly probably good considering they traded back. So I mean, they traded back and then they were able to sit there and.
Well, I will say this: what we said in the beginning has definitely translated into the live show. Is the mock drafts that we all pay attention to for the last 2 months have been basically wrong this whole time.
Oh yeah.
Other than the first 2 picks.
I mean, other than the
always
trades, but like trades are always so hard to guess. But I mean, like
Even
a lot of
J.C. Horn going top 10, that hasn't been anywhere.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, a lot of the ones I saw, they actually had the Jaguars, wrong cat. Panthers trading out. A lot of them had the Patriots trading up into that spot. So, like I said, I mean, it's just hard with trying to. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, can any of us do this very well? I mean, we can't even draft a decent fantasy team.
What I'm getting at with that is I literally sit there and I'll study them because I love this part of the year so much. I'll sit there and study and be like, yeah, that makes sense. And then draft day comes. It's like everything I just studied and read up on was.
Well, honestly, that's how it always goes with the draft.
Yeah.
Teams end up drafting guys that they fall in love with that you don't think
like Leatherwood
are even on their radar.
Yep. Pick is in for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, this is, like I said, this is the area where a lot of people were speculating if the Bills are going to make a move, that they're going to move up here in the early 20s, mid-20s, to make sure that they get their guy. I don't see a trade coming here. I don't see enough running back needy teams who are willing to take a first-round running back. I don't see a lot of teams who are looking to take edge rushers here. So those are the 2 most prominent things I think that the Bills need going into their pick.
But you'd like to see secondary.
I would love to see secondary just for the longevity of this.
Just based on how the draft is going so far, the second round is going to be full of secondary talent that's going to be taken.
Oh yeah.
I can see the Bills starting that, but I could also see them trying to wait and seeing if Asante Samuel Jr. is going to fall to them.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings selection is in. Roger Goodell's at the table. It is tackle Christian Darrisaw.
Okay, so that's the guy that you were talking about, Greg. So why don't you fill us in a little bit if you know anything about him, what you like about him, and
yeah, I mean he's what you want in an offensive tackle. I mean he's 6'5", 322 pounds, big dude, loves to hit. I mean, I was saying, there's a lot of things that are comparable with Sewell. It's just Sewell kind of just has that more raw athleticism. But I mean, he was on a good team. Well, for Virginia Tech standards, they've been better than they have been in recent history. So I mean, 3rd to 5th overall offensive tackle. So I mean, I think you're getting a really good pick there at 23. When, like I said, they traded back, so they get more assets and they get this kid. I like the pick. Yep. I mean, it benefits. Yeah. The Jets benefited. They moved up and got who they wanted. Vikings got to move back, get some assets, get the kid they want. So, I mean, I like it.
What I like about this kid, they got a little bit of a highlight video going on him right now on NFL Network. And what I like about him is that when he sees a guy on his plane, like when he's going on a run block, he sees a guy in his path, he goes right at that guy. Mm-hmm. He doesn't move his eyes and try to pick up somebody on the way. If he's in his path, he's going right to him.
Yep.
Which is what I like. He's a downhill guy, and honestly, the Vikings need help on the offensive line.
Well, like you said, every team could use an O-line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And having a guy like Dalvin Cook with you,
the
saying
Steelers
that,
pick is in already. Yeah.
Now,
you saying that's good.
Now, do the Steelers go Etienne? James Conner, didn't he leave?
Yeah. That and that was
or Najee Harris.
That was the speculation that this is where they wanted to have that pick right before the Steelers.
Yeah, James Conner is a Cardinal now.
Yep. This is where they thought that if Etienne was going to go before them, it was in these next 3 picks coming up here with the Steelers and those to follow. I think the Jets. Nope. I think it's the Dolphins coming up again.
No, it's Jaguars next.
Jaguars next. I mean, they got James Robinson.
And then it's the Browns.
But they might be I've seen Najee Harris, and I've also seen Etienne for the Bills. So,
these guys could definitely use a run.
Yeah, they could, but I don't. First round running backs. it hasn't happened as often.
If the need is there, though, man. If the need is there, I mean.
Yeah. It depends on how big of a need you believe it to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, unless maybe they go Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State, offensive tackle. I know they've been taking some dings and people leaving on their offensive line, so that pick could make sense as well. But once
Roethlisberger's getting old, he probably can't handle that many more hits.
We're not going to see another quarterback go tonight.
No.
You don't think so?
No, not at all. Pick is in. Right. I can see it. I'll let you guys react.
If there's a team that's picking a quarterback this late in the draft in the first round, it's going to be this team. It's going to be the Steelers.
Yep. All right. These guys seem pretty pumped up about who they're getting here. You know, I could see running back. I could also see. I've been saying it all night. I could see corner for them. These guys.
Really?
Well, everybody needs corner help, man. When the offense is as good as it is in the NFL right now, everybody always needs cornerback help.
Yeah. Roger Goodell on the podium. Pick 24 is coming your way right now.
Steelers select Najee Harris.
Najee Harris. There you go. The first running back off of the board going to Pittsburgh.
This is a good pick for them.
This is their typical runner.
Yes.
This is a Steelers runner right here.
Yes. So he's Derrick Henry-esque, not nearly as big.
Yep.
A little faster.
Yep.
And just a downhill guy. This is a good pick for them.
Is it a reach?
No, because there were people saying that Najee Harris was probably not going to be there for the Bills.
Right.
Which obviously he's not now.
Yep.
But I saw some mocks putting him in the top 15.
Mm-hmm.
I also saw some mocks putting him in the top 10.
Yep.
Which is just crazy to me because I don't think any team is going to take a running back in the top 10 unless the guy is
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it probably won't happen ever again.
Right. No, I like the pick a lot. Greg, what are you thinking about Najee Harris, first running back off the board?
Like I said, it makes sense. I mean, they lost James Conner. I know they have the other kid there who played a lot with Conner hurt at the beginning of the year. But I think you always need to have two running backs at least. So the pick makes sense to me. I personally, with both of them on the board, I think I would have taken Etienne. He is much more of the dual threat pass catcher running back. I think I definitely like him a little bit more. But like you guys said, it also kind of fits what the Steelers do. Keep it close to the chest and run it up the gut. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, good power back who can plow through that line. I mean. And they need playmakers. I mean, they were lucky enough to hold on to Juju Smith-Schuster. He took a pay cut to stay with him, so he's obviously drinking the Kool-Aid for whatever reason. I think he could have.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I love the kid. I think he definitely could have made a bigger impact elsewhere. I know right in his division, the Ravens were offering him big money, and I mean, right there, you're on a Super Bowl contending team each year. So it's. He's buying in. That's going to be great for the locker room as well. I mean, you got a big name like that, big face like that. He's one of the top young guys in the league, especially like marketability wise. He's one of the faces of the NFL. He's on the Fortnite shit. He's on the Twitch shit. I mean, he does all that. By the way, follow us on Twitch. I like the pick. I like the pick, man.
Good. I think it's going to work out real well for Big Ben. It'll set up that play action because ETN has the pass catching ability and the speed factor. That is stuff that defense has to respect. But the Patriot way, man, when it's second down and 2 and you have a guy that you have to respect, that defense has to respect, and Najee Harris, that, hey, this guy's probably going to get the handoff right up the gut. That's when Pittsburgh has been great, when they set up the play action game and they have those threats on those short down conversions. I mean, the Super Bowl runs they made, it was play action prominent. They thrive on play action. Ben Roethlisberger is a great play action quarterback, and Najee Harris, I think, just fits the mold. And ETN might be the overall better athletically, but I just think for the play style of the Steelers, this is what they're looking for in a guy. So
I agree with you, and and you also see the impact that Derrick Henry has had on the game with his running style and the fact that he's so hard and so difficult to take down.
Mm-hmm.
You look at that with Tennessee, and then you look at what you have in Pittsburgh, and you're like, man, if if we had a guy similar to Derrick Henry, not as good as Derrick Henry at this point, but similar, we could really do some damage.
I think those teams are actually very similar.
I do too.
Very powerful defenses. Both rely on play actions.
Yep. They're built the same way.
They're built the same way. I feel like that's a good comparison right there. So coming up, pick 25 is the Jaguars' second first-round pick. I gotta say, man, it's been kind of crappy watching all these teams make their second, third picks in the draft.
Yeah, we made it to the AFC Championship.
I
Our lives are so tough.
I talked to my dad the other night about the draft. He's like, "Oh, you're not going to be worried about staying up too late to see the Bills pick?" I'm like, "Dad, I have waited my whole life to see the Bills pick
that late.
Past 20 in the draft, or past 25 in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. Like, he just didn't get it when I was telling him that. But I was like, Dad, they're picking at 30. Mm-hmm. That's a sign of success.
So I was telling Greg earlier today. I go, man, I can't remember the last time. I mean, I know last year we were a little high, like we were like 23.
We were 23,
but I can't remember the last time the Bills were in this position and we were waiting and just watching the draft unfold, because we're usually the one trading up, giving up the farm, getting CJ Spiller or Marcel Darius or something like that. So
the Marcel Darius one didn't work out too bad.
I like the fact that we're sitting at where we are.
The last time you guys had a pick over 20 that it wasn't from a trade, because you guys did trade back and get Tre'Davious White. From quick research, 2003.
Holy smokes, Graham!
You guys picked at 23.
10 years old.
I'm gonna say also it's a running back. Can you guess who it is?
Yeah,
is
Travis Henry, or it was Willis McGahee?
Was it Marshawn?
2003.
2003. 2000.
I think you're on the right path with the Travis Henry area. Wait. Was it Willis McGahee?
It went Travis Henry, Willis McGahee. So it was before Travis Henry. It wasn't A-Train, was it? We didn't have A-Train from... No. He came from Chicago.
Yes.
Man, this is a good one. 2003.
There's somebody that didn't last long for the Bills.
I was 10 years old. Who the hell am I going to remember at 10 years old?
Give us a hint, Greg.
You guys have already said his name.
Give me a school.
Oh, we did?
Yep.
Oh, then I'm saying Willis McGahee.
Me too.
Yeah, it was Willis. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Willis too.
Look at Joe Burrow's tweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw that. Is the pick in yet? Do we have?
Pick is in. We're waiting on the announcement.
All right.
Yeah.
So the Jaguars, trying to start some new life out there. Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence,
possibly Tim Tebow.
Possibly Tim Tebow. This is a team that's gonna. I don't think they're going to be able to turn it around in 1 year, but they're definitely setting their team up for success long term. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, obviously everybody has viewed him as the top quarterback prospect for the past couple of years. Do they go out here and get another weapon for him? Do they come out here and get the next best offensive tackle? I think we're going to see another offensive player off the board here, unless they feel like they need to pick up somebody in that secondary.
Which they do. They traded away Jalen Ramsey a couple years ago.
AJ
Boye's gone. That secondary needs some help. I'm guessing that they're going corner here.
I'm thinking you're either helping out Trevor Lawrence or you're.
I think they're going safety. I think they'll go with that Morig.
Yeah, I think you're right, Greg.
Let's see what we got here.
And Morig seems to be kind of like an Urban Meyer.
Would you look at this? Is he sitting down in a chair? That's his basement chair. Mr. Goodell, you savage.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, I was checking Twitter. Some of the Tapman's tweets during this right now are hilarious.
Round 1, pick 25.
Etienne.
Wow.
The freaking Jaguars take.
Wow. Running back Travis Etienne.
Dude, he played with them. It makes sense. You go get Trevor Lawrence. You get the guy that he's used to throwing to out of. Dude. All right. Hey,
Urban Meyer's trying to bring Clemson to the NFL. The whole school.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The kid is a home run hitter, no doubt about it. I know Bills fans.
Some are going to be upset about this.
For the past month, we've heard Bulldog talk about how bad he wants this guy, so I'm sure he's convinced a lot of fans. And don't get me wrong, there's no doubt that this kid has the ability to really, you know,
take over and
take the roof down, make it fall and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just statistically proven that taking a running back in the first round is not beneficial. So
I don't know. I like
This
this.
is-
I like
see-
this kid's numbers, man. I mean, 4,900 yards in his
Sorry,
career, 1,100 yards receiving, 78 total touchdowns. I mean, kid has been around success. I like the pick. I think like you said, keeping him with Trevor Lawrence, bringing him into Urban Meyer's offense. I like the pick, dude. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I like where the Jags are going right now.
yeah, no, I think they're making the right move.
Because I think
I like this
that
pick. Sorry, Greg. Go
I was
ahead.
just sorry. I was just gonna finish. I think their running back had injury issues last year too, right?
Yes.
James Robinson, yes.
Yes.
I had him on my fantasy team for a while. It sucked.
But he's also not fat. I mean, ETN is fast. I mean, he's
James Robinson's pretty fast.
is he?
Yeah.
They're all faster than me.
He's a smaller back.
Yeah.
Etienne is more of a like a bowling ball compared to James
Okay.
Robinson. James Robinson's more like a twig.
Okay. All right.
But I like this pick because it's more of like a second round pick to the Jaguars. I know that you're saying first round running back doesn't really pan out, but this is really it's their second pick in the
Yeah.
first round.
Yeah.
So
Now,
this is a good pick for them.
another interesting thing, I think Alex might know because I already mentioned it. Do you guys know who this pick is from?
Which one is that? The Jaguars?
The Jaguars' second pick, yeah.
That was the Jalen Ramsey trade from the
Yep.
Rams.
What do the Rams need right now?
Dude,
A running back.
a running back.
There you go.
Yeah.
I just thought that's kind of
Rams-
interesting.
You know,
The Rams don't have a first round pick until like 2023.
We-
And they haven't had one
talked-
for 4 years or something like that.
Yes.
we've talked about that.
And
too.
they have no first round picks on their roster anymore for like the last 10 years.
off the show. We talked about that. Like, is this Sean McVay's final season if he does not make the playoffs?
I don't know.
And you traded your whole entire future over and over and over. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Banking on Jared Goff, banking on.
Now you're banking on Matt Stafford.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that you're in better shape with Matt Stafford than you are with Jared Goff.
I mean,
for
they're
sure.
gonna be in trouble soon. Like, you got Jalen Ramsey taking up huge cap numbers, same with Aaron Donald, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp's
Not
contract.
to
Matt-
mention
Matt
Stafford's
Stafford.
contract
Yeah.
is freaking
Yeah.
cheap, bro.
Yeah, so I don't know. They're
I think the Rams are in
Browns
trouble.
are on the clock, by the way.
Their pick
and
is in as
pick
well.
is in for the
Yep.
Browns.
Yep. Round 1, pick 26, Cleveland.
What about the
Browns.
Browns? Where do you think they're going? They just
This is their
picked up
first one, right?
Jadavian. Yeah, they picked up Jadavian Clowney
Yep,
to
so
go
he's
along with
opposite
Miles.
Garrett.
Yep. I mean, they have a fantastic defensive line. I mean, they
Yeah.
were all around a really good team. They just didn't quite have that talent to take them far in the playoffs. But like, they're a very well-rounded team. So honestly, I almost want to say they're best pick available.
They are best pick available. I think that they got the best running back room in the league in Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. You got Baker Mayfield. You got Jarvis Landry.
God, when was the
Odell
la-
Beckham
Odell
Jr.
Beckham. You
When
got
was the last
Austin
time we said the
Hooper.
Browns were making pick for best player
Right.
available?
Well, honestly, if they were drafting for need, it would probably be linebacker. They did lose Christian Kirksey.
Yep.
True.
They. What'd you say, Greg?
No,
I said true.
it's-
Sorry.
I would think that they might take the best available linebacker at this point, or a hybrid guy for edge
Yeah,
linebacker.
because they run the 3-4.
Yes.
All right, Roger Goodell looks like he's going to be walking up to the podium on our end. I'm sure you guys already have the pick.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you
delayed.
thank you for bearing with us.
Hmm,
Round
no-
1,
nobody's
pick
complained
26,
yet.
coming to you live at 11:25.
Hey,
Honestly,
we got
they could go offensive line too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, actually, you know what? That might be where they go.
right now though. The offensive line talent though is kind of thin right now for this part of the draft though.
That Notre Dame kid's still there, right?
The linebacker,
No.
the linebacker
tackle.
from Notre Dame. Is
No, the tackle I think already got picked.
there. Is Christian
Hennessy?
something right?
I thought it was Hennessy or something like that. I don't know.
I'm looking.
We'll see.
All right, the Browns are going to select in a moment.
Who do we got?
Come on, Roger Goodell, spit it out. I'm waiting. The Bills are coming up soon, and I'm getting tired.
What do we got? Come on, Cleveland.
Man, they drag this shit out hard.
They do.
They really do.
It's almost like we're going to be going for 5 hours or
Maya
something.
Tomoto, senior at Shaw High School in Cleveland, giving the pick.
All right. Browns pick, round 1, 25.
I feel like she's giving like a speech right now.
She could be.
I don't know because I don't have the sound on.
Neither do I. I'm just looking at Greg's speech.
They took Greg Newsome the second,
There we
corner
go.
out of
All right.
Northwestern. Okay,
So, all right.
Makes
now
sense.
I'm thinking, all right,
it does.
unfortunately, I feel like the Bills are going to trade out of this first round.
I think
At
no.
this
I think we're
point-
going edge.
There's not, I don't think the value's there, honestly.
I think it is.
No.
You
I
don't
mean,
think so?
Christian Barremore's
There's
still
only-
there.
Yeah, and Christian Barrymore is considered to be a top 50, or not, sorry, not top 50. He's considered to be a top 15 talent in this draft.
Really?
Yes, as far as what I read up.
Where do you get some of these numbers? Are you reading Bills pages?
I'm telling
No,
you right
this
now.
this was from Pro Football Focus, like a week ago.
Some of these numbers you pull out, man. I don't know about you sometimes.
Hey, he might be right, though. Christian Barremore's a big dude, man.
Nah, I like it though.
Looking at
Greg Newsome to Cleveland, I like it. You're getting a top 5. You're getting a top 5 cornerback in the draft, all the way back at the 26th pick. We're gonna be a broken record. You can't have enough secondary help, injuries,
Exactly.
amazing offenses. You're going against Pittsburgh, who I mean, now they're gonna be sitting there and they're gonna be getting some good offensive power players there. You got the Ravens.
Yeah.
You got to deal with. Well, they don't really have that many good receivers, but
I mean, look at the Bengals. They got a stacked wide receiver core.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Joe Burrow, hopefully with a healthy knee. I mean,
And right now
shoring up your secondary helps.
Yeah, and right now the road to the Super Bowl goes through Kansas City at this point in time.
Yep.
I mean, and there's a good chance they have to go through the Bills if that. So I mean, good secondaries major when you're making playoff pushes. And the Browns, I gotta get used to this saying this kind of stuff. The Browns are making playoff pushes, man. They made their first one last year. They're poised to do it again.
Yeah.
The only thing that I don't like about this pick is that traditionally the Browns have had horrible secondary picks in the first round.
Denzel Ward was pretty good.
Denzel
Ward
Ward's
is the
fantastic.
exception.
Yeah.
But most of the time when they have a first round pick that they pick in the secondary, it's not good. I think Justin Gilbert was one.
Man, when's the last time the Browns could? I mean, what? They've had Baker for 3 years, so they haven't had to pick a quarterback in 3 years. But
Yeah.
they're probably picking a quarterback every year for like the past.
Not
7
every year.
years.
It's about every 3 years, 4 years that
Yeah.
they pick a new quarterback.
I like the pick. Like you said, it's a broken record, Greg. Anybody can use secondary in this draft, and there's plenty. I could see if the Bills don't trade out, Asante Samuel Jr. is still there too. I could see that happening.
I can see him going right now to the Ravens.
Yo, I
Or
just
the
pulled up
Ravens
the
getting a wide
Browns.
receiver.
I just pulled up the Browns draft history. Y'all remember Trent Richardson?
Yes.
Oh,
I took one of them stupid polls on Instagram of like who was the bigger bust. It was like a whole it was on somebody's story, so like you hit yes or no. No, it was like Jamarcus Russell, Trent Richardson, Vince Young, and somebody else, and it was like you like pull the fucking slider to see where you're at. And I was really harsh.
I don't
A
know.
lot of people.
I try not to be too harsh on Vince Young because he had some mental
No,
health
not on
issues.
Vince. I wasn't harsh on Vince Young, but I was harsh on Trent Richardson. And I was
Alright.
really harsh on Jamarcus Russell.
Both of them, Richardson and Russell, showed up about like 50 pounds overweight or something like that to training camp.
Right.
So
Well, I guess Jamarcus Russell's big issue was that he just wouldn't read the playbook. He wouldn't do the work off the field.
wouldn't
Like,
or
he,
couldn't.
Maybe a
Wouldn't.
little bit of both.
Probably both. I guess he just didn't have the motivation to do the work.
Well, he got paid, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get paid. Feel like you made it.
And he tried making a comeback and it did not work.
We're on a commercial break on this end, but it says that the Ravens pick is in round 1, pick 27, 11:30. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, follow, tell all your friends, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, anywhere, everywhere podcast can be. We are right there for you. This is the Buffalo Binge. Thank
Let me
for
tell you,
being
man.
with us.
The Browns have some names in their draft history. Kellen Winslow, Braylon Edwards, Alex Mack, Joe Hayden, T.J. Ward, Colt McCoy. Man, Colt McCoy was only a third rounder.
Yeah.
I would have guessed.
Colt McCoy's still in the league.
No.
I thought he was the Giants' backup.
No, he was the backup for the Washington football team last year.
No, he wasn't. He was a Giant last year, Graham.
Was he last year? Oh, then it was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
He was the backup.
He's a free agent right now. They didn't re-sign him.
Shit.
We signed Mike Glennon. Yay.
Mike Glennon.
Yeah, I would have taken Colt McCoy over Mike Glennon any day of the week. Mike Glennon's a dumpster fire.
So far, favorite pick in the first round. I want to hear from both of you. Who pick you like the most so far? I'll start with you, Graham. I think Greg's gonna go with the Giants pick of.
I think you can go
Honestly,
in.
honestly, I like the Bears picking Justin Fields and doing what they had to do to go up to grab him from the Giants. Well, not from the Giants, but trading with the Giants to get who they wanted. That's my favorite pick so far. If I had to pick another one, honestly, Najee Harris to the Steelers made a lot of sense.
Okay. All right. Greg, where are you at?
I think I'm gonna hop over with our buddy James. Patrick Surtain to the Broncos makes a lot of sense. I mean, like you were saying, they've lost some top names in that secondary. I really like that pick. Great value. Or 2 picks earlier over to the Lions, being able to pick up Sewell at the number 7 overall. Yeah. Great value again there.
Okay, cool. I'm liking the Kyle Pitts to Atlanta. I'd like to see Matt Ryan and Julio Jones make one last run. I'm more for Julio Jones. One of the greatest generational talents I've ever seen at the wide receiver position, and the fact that he made it to the Super Bowl and lost to the Patriots on that 28-3 game. I want to see them make a run. I think Kyle Pitts has the ability to make defenses think about him and put a lot of emphasis on him, to where Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley might be able to get opened up a little bit more and help that offense.
Well, especially over the middle.
Yeah, and again, I totally agree with the Sewell pick. I love that pick out of Detroit. They're getting the grinder in there. But Roger Goodell's on the podium on our end. Round 1, pick 27. Who are the Ravens going to take? Graham thinks secondary. I think offensive line.
I think they're going wide receiver.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rashad Bateman.
Okay.
This
is
out of Minnesota.
This is a little bit of a
Yes.
reach from what I understand, but this is
I've seen him. I've seen him at the tail end of the first round. Depending on
Elijah Moore was ahead of this guy.
It depends. It depends on who you look at. So
most of the mocks that I've seen, he is.
Yeah. So I mean, Bateman, big frame body. The Ravens have been trying to get a wide receiver in there for Lamar Jackson. This is interesting to me, honestly. You've invested so much time and effort into making sure your run game and this option game in Baltimore is going to work with Lamar Jackson. And when we watch Lamar Jackson have to sit in the pocket and throw, he struggles, and he struggles hard.
I wouldn't say he struggles all the time. He's proven that he can do it, right? He can do both facets of the game. He can do the throwing and the running.
I don't
has
think
he
proven the passing yet. Well, you know what?
If he's not able
to the beginning of his MVP season, the first 8 games, he was doing both.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see numbers though on pocket versus out of the pocket, because he always is running around back there, and when he extends plays, that's when he can find those gaps. But when you guys played him and you guys were able to keep him in the pocket, that's when he was having trouble, like Alex was saying.
Well, I think the difference also is that Sean McDermott and Leslie Frazier have kind of got the blueprint on how to stop Lamar Jackson. And the rest of the NFL has used that. We did it the first time we played Lamar Jackson on his MVP season, when it came down to that last play with 10 seconds left and somebody dropped the ball in the end zone. Then last year when we beat them in the playoffs, that these guys have the blueprint on how to beat Lamar Jackson. The rest of the NFL is starting to realize that he's not a great pocket passer. I think he's a competent pocket passer. He can make good throws on easy plays when there's not a lot of pressure, but when the pressure starts getting to him, that's when it's dangerous for the defense.
Yeah.
Because he starts moving around. You really want to keep him confined and not able to leave the pocket, but you also need to be able to blanket his receivers. This is a pick for the Ravens that's going to help Lamar Jackson kind of have a guy that can get some separation out there on the field and make those easy pocket throws where they're not putting a lot of pressure on him a little bit easier for him, and he can start kind of looking at being more of a pocket passer on top of being the running guy and the scrambler.
I don't know. I think he's got a lot of work to do to become a pro.
Oh, no, he definitely has a lot of work to do in the pocket passing game, but I'm saying that this
think
pick,
he can do it?
I think he can do it, but he needs guys that are going to be able to find space.
Yeah.
This is a guy that can find space and get separation because of his big body.
And let's be honest, he hasn't had the greatest targets. I mean, he did have Dez Bryant as his wide receiver 2 option last year, and Dez Bryant was retired for like 3 years.
Yeah. I don't think he was the 2, was he?
Well, not retired.
He wasn't his number 2 either. It was really his number 2 was
Hollywood.
No,
Hollywood's number 1. It was it's Willie Snead.
Willie Snead.
Yeah.
Which also that's your number 2.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got it good there with the Bills coming up with that blueprint, because I remember talking about the post-game Ravens game in the playoffs, or was it we played the Ravens in the season too, right?
Correct.
I don't think we did.
Played them in the season, so
and we lost.
I remember there being a play, and I said, "Dude, did you watch how Jerry Hughes and Mario Addison literally stopped rushing Lamar Jackson?"
Yes.
Because once they broke the containment from the tackles, they literally just stood there and waited for him
to make a move.
Yeah. And that's what got him in a lot of
trouble.
And
that's what the rest of the NFL has studied from the tape of the Bills and the Ravens, is that you look at how they rush Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
It's not a full-on let's go after him rush. It's a break containment and break down.
Yeah.
And be able to not let him get away.
Right.
Because once he gets out of the pocket, that's when he's the most dangerous. Because he can throw on the run better than most quarterbacks in the league. I would say Josh Allen is comparable to that. Obviously, both of them outside the pocket running the ball is super dangerous.
Yeah.
The thing is with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, when you're practicing against Josh Allen, you're practicing against Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Not so much with the speed and the quickness, but just the way that both of these guys, the way that both of these guys can break the pocket and make things happen.
So it is round 1, pick 28. New Orleans is on the clock. The pick is in though, so let's see if
they pick a quarterback.
Let's see if we get Roger Goodell up here. I don't think they take quarterback yet.
I don't think so either.
This might be your D lineman right here.
Barmore.
This might be him. They let go of Sheldon Rankins in the offseason. Cameron Jordan's getting up there in age. They've got Marshawn Lattimore.
I've heard that Marshawn Lattimore might be on the way out.
I think that would have happened by now. I think he would have been in the first round discussion.
Yeah.
First round pick discussion.
They could use some help in the secondary. They could also
wide receiver.
Well, yeah, wide receiver is definitely an option for them. I would even say running back could be an option for them at this point.
Alvin Kamara?
Yeah, another guy to spell Alvin Kamara, kind of like when they were doing Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. If they got another guy similar to Mark Ingram's style, or Najee Harris, I think Najee Harris probably was maybe the guy that they were looking at.
I'd be surprised if another running back was taken, before the mid-second round.
What do you think, Greg?
I can see the pick, so I'm not going to say anything.
Oh.
Well, on our end, Roger Goodell is giving high fives, walking around. He's not sitting in his chair yet, but it does look comfy.
I think that other guy was sitting in his chair.
There's an umbrella on the inside.
Yes, that's bad luck. The Saints are screwed now. I'm sorry if anybody here is a Saints fan. The Saints are screwed. Somebody opened an umbrella inside.
Yep, that is. What do we got here?
They took Peyton Turner.
No!
Wow. Okay.
What a reach.
Yeah. The thing is that's a good pick.
Oh, the Bills are trading out of the first.
But man, that hurts us.
Wow.
Oosh.
I really wanted this kid. I mean, if you guys are watching at home the highlight reel, this kid is a freaking monster.
Yes.
He's fast. He's big. Reminds me of Bruce Smith. Like, this kid, I was like, man, when I was watching, I was like, man, this is what we need. He is tenacious. He is quick first step. Definitely a second round talent. I think the Saints just took him because they wanted to make sure they got him. But to get a guy like Peyton Turner to come in and learn from Cameron Jordan with already the skill set he has is going to be nuts. And they actually took a first round pick last year in Davenport. So
The Packers picks in already.
So now they got two young pass rushers that they can mold, learning from Cameron Jordan, one of the best in the biz. And I'm just surprised it was Peyton Turner. Always still on the board from Penn State. So I'm wondering if
there were a lot of mocks that had him going to the Bills.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Well, I hope not. I don't think Penn State players work out very well in Buffalo.
I mean, I wouldn't hate Jason Owe.
I mean, how many Penn State players have you had? You named the one earlier, but like
he's just so stung by Aaron Maben.
Yeah.
And the thing is we took Aaron Maben top 10.
We did.
So
we did.
Let's get over it.
The Giants took Eric Flowers top 10, so you're okay.
Yeah, he's been traded around lately.
Yeah, he got traded again this week. I didn't even know he was still in the NFL. Dude's a bum.
Yep.
I shouldn't say. I don't know him personally, but he didn't work out for the Giants.
That last pick kind of hurts.
That did. I was really hoping he was going to slide.
I'm just happy that I'm not the only one in pain over here now.
Well, that just goes to show you, man. It's every team grades these players differently.
Yes.
And it's that's what makes this draft so unpredictable. Is that somebody might have a first round grade on one person, another team has a fifth round grade on them. It literally could happen. So,
well, the other thing too, Greg, about that last pick was that him and Ed Oliver were both teammates at Houston.
Yep.
And it would have been cool to have them together on a defensive line again for the Bills, especially since Peyton Turner, yeah, he's a bit of a project, but he has all of the
Keep going. I'm just being a smartass.
I was going to say he's got all the intangibles to be a top-tier pass rusher in the NFL, not to mention a run stopper.
Yeah.
He's got the intangibles to be a freak of nature defensive end in this league.
So, what do we got
The
here?
Packers are ready to go.
Pick 29. Already the pick is in.
Do the Packers finally get a wide receiver for Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers is going to play there.
Aaron Rodgers is not coming back, according to him.
I mean,
we talked about
I don't know.
Early in this.
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to still wait and see because the way it came out is kind of really weird. So we'll have to. I'm kind of holding out, waiting to see how that all works out. But
it was
I mean,
Schefter, though.
I think it was.
It was Shefty, but I don't know. Just the wording of it just seems weird. That he talked to a few people inside the company. Like, why would he be just like going around talking about, oh, I want to leave here without just being like, yo, I want to leave. Get me the f- out. Like,
maybe something happened.
Well, I think what happened was the conversation ended up being, hey, I'm not very happy.
Well, that's been the conversation for about 3 years.
I'm not coming back.
Are we the next pick?
Yes.
Here we go. We're almost there.
Yes.
11:45 at night, baby.
Watch this, though. We're going to see the Bills logo for 5 seconds, and then it's going to get traded away.
Yeah.
I think we're trading back with Atlanta or Philadelphia if we don't pick. I'm more leaning towards Philadelphia at this point.
I mean, Jacksonville might want to pop back in.
They could.
So.
They could. But like I said, if you trade out and you get behind the Jets and Dolphins again, they've made 3 picks before you've made 1.
Yeah, which I wouldn't be thrilled about.
Roger Goodell going up to the podium right now. Round 1, pick 29, 11:45. Here we go. What do we got, Roger Goodell?
Eric Stokes, cornerback out of Georgia.
Okay.
So I don't remember seeing Eric Stokes in any of my first round mocks.
Same.
So this is kind of a reach to me.
I don't know.
And if I were Aaron Rodgers, I'd be super pissed because once again, you didn't get any help at wide receiver in the first round.
Yep.
There's quality guys out there, and you reached for a corner that is maybe top 10 talent.
Maybe, I don't know, man. You've already had 5 or 6 corners go that are top 10 talent.
Yeah,
Dude,
but like I think Asante Samuel Jr. is better.
Well, he's not even the best Georgia cornerback. You still have
Right.
Tyson Campbell on the board, and I've heard a lot better things about Tyson Campbell than I have about this kid. Because
This reminds me last year of them drafting Jordan Love.
All right, so
And then drafting that running back in the second round. Like you're drafting spots that you like. Yeah, you need help in the secondary, but man, you're not picking.
I just don't understand how they haven't drafted a wide receiver. You haven't had
exactly.
You haven't had
Biggest-
a solid number 2 in I don't know how long. Like, I mean, unless they're just drinking the Kool-Aid.
Geronimo Allison a good number 2.
no.
I mean, unless they're just drinking the Kool-Aid that hard on the kids that they have there. But man, I don't know, man.
I don't know either. Man, that's big up.
The
Buffalo is on the
Bills
clock.
are on the clock.
Round 1, pick 30. We're here.
Well, that
11:47.
Eric Stokes pick helps us.
Well, all right. So we've had some random picks to this point. You know, we've had
Yes.
the Eric Stokes pick. We've had the Raiders pick. We've had Peyton Turner.
Barmore is on the board still.
Barmore is on the board. That could
Asante
be-
Samuel Jr. is still on the board.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
I think he'll be there at the next pick in the second round.
Here
I
we
really
go.
do.
A lot of people have him as the top available cornerback. I mean, about 8th
Yes.
overall. So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if he'd last a whole nother round.
So this is where we're at. I think, you know, a lot of the team, we've seen a trend here. Usually once the clock gets set to the team, the pick is in if they know who they want. And then the ones that run, I would say that's when they're kind of exploring options as to trades. But I think the Bills are really thinking right here, to be honest. I think they're really wondering, do we trade back? Do we stay in? What are we going to get out of this? So I bet you there's teams calling them right now.
I guarantee there's teams calling them right now because they know that the Bills are drafting for best available player.
Yeah.
There's not many holes on the Bills roster that they absolutely need to fill. It looks like they're about to make a pick though.
It does. They're either
Based
gonna
on the
make a pick or a
draft room.
trade. I don't know. They don't look too excited. They look like they're just fist bumping. There's Joe Schoen and
I've still got
Brandon
a timer on this side.
Yeah, so do I. They just showed the draft
room.
the war room there.
Yeah.
But knowing that the Bills are going to basically be drafting for best available player on their board, you can field calls from other teams, and teams are going to be like, "Listen, hey, we'll give you 2 2s or a second and a third, or a second and 2/3 to jump back up into the first round."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well,
we'll see what happens
we're
here.
clicking down
still
at
2:15.
Yep. I'm excited to see here. I just listen. Ever since this regime came in, it's been a great experience. Every
Yes.
time the draft has come across, and
Yes.
they haven't really missed much. I trust anything they do here. I'm not going to be disappointed at any position besides kicker and punter and quarterback. So
I honestly, for
Could you
me, wide
imagine a
receiver
punter?
would be a disappointment at this point in the draft. 'Cause
Elijah Moore is not bad.
Elijah Moore is not bad, but I don't think that it's a need.
Right.
I really don't think it's a need. I'd rather draft a top tier player at a.
The pick is in.
Okay, the Buffalo Bills.
Who's your
still
guys'
have-
major slot guy?
Beasley.
Oh, Beasley. Yeah. I mean,
I am,
unless with Beasley getting older, they wanted to look at because Elijah Moore is like 5'11", so
Well,
he's
they have
gonna.
Isaiah Hodgins.
All right, well, I'm not going to lie. I would have, now that we're talking about slot guys and stuff real quick, I'm not trying to rub this in, but I definitely would have taken Bateman over Tony for the Giants.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there, Greg. I'm not saying that to throw salt on you.
I just want you
I
to
think Bateman brings it better
stop.
physically.
I'm nervous.
stop.
I'm not
in
gonna lie.
pain.
I'm really nervous about this pick.
This could be a linebacker. This could be D tackle.
I'm really
Only 2 linebackers have been taken, right?
3.
Has it been 3? I think it's only been 2. Xavier Collins.
James Strasburg, while we're killing time before the pick is in, he asked if a punter ever went first round. Jankowski went first round, didn't he?
Yeah, that's kicker.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a kicker though. Yep.
Yes. I don't think a punter has ever gone first
I don't think so.
round.
I don't think that's ever happened.
For some reason, the name Shane Leckler comes to mind.
Shane Leckler.
But I don't think he was. I don't think Hunter has ever been.
Yes. Not since my mom was born. 1973, Ray Guy was chosen in the first round by who else but the Oakland Raiders. I mean, he was a Hall of Famer, so you can't blame that. And then in
Goodell is walking to the podium right now.
No way.
Oh wow!
You guys are gonna be.
Greg is definitely fucking ruining this experience already.
Is Greg muted?
No, I think he muted himself.
No, I stopped reacting. I'm trying to.
The Bills selection.
I'm nervous. It might be offensive line, which I'd be okay with. Just don't be. It might be Javonte Williams.
Gregory Rousseau. Yo! Let's go! Let's go! I'm fine with that. Let's do it.
All right, Gregory Rousseau it is. We got our edge rusher coming to Buffalo, first round out of Miami. A lot of people love this kid.
I did not see him being available this late in the first round.
A lot of people
us.
didn't.
So this is huge to me.
Yeah, look at this guy. He's a giant.
Yeah, I want to see his highlights again.
6'7".
He's a big dude. And this is going to help our pass rush immensely. This is ultimately what I wanted to do with our first round pick. This is, woof, man, I'm happy.
Let's see, what's it saying here? It says, former wide receiver safety, productive. Huh.
He can move.
That's interesting. He's going to be shifty. That's what we need, some quickness. Gregory Rousseau, Brandon Beane obviously thought that the first round grade was there. I'm wondering if they thought he was going to be there. I'm interested to see what Brandon Beane says. I'm sure they're going to have a presser later tonight, and we will get that to you on Sunday about what he says about this pick, if he thought that he was going to be there or not, because all the mock drafts I saw, he never made it past 23. So
yeah,
it's very interesting, and I'm happy with it. I don't really know the production that he had in college. I don't know his stat line. I'm not really too worried about it. I'm more worried about the developmental traits and what they can progress this young man into being. So I'm happy with it. Greg, what do you think? Your initial reaction, it sounded like you thought we were going to – I couldn't tell if you were trying to make it think it was bad or –
If the Giants would have picked him 10 picks earlier or whatever it was, I would have been absolutely thrilled with the pick. I think Gregory Rousseau is a fantastic player. I don't know. You could flip a coin with those two defensive ends out of Miami, dude. They're fantastic players. And 6'7", 266 pounds, like you said. Dude's a giant. He's a beast. He's going to tear through offensive linemen because he is quick as hell, strong as hell. I
like that he's got the length in his arms.
I wish the Giants would have picked him. I'll be 100% honest. I'm very jealous. I really like the pick. I really like the player. He took last year off. Wow. He was only a sophomore, I think. Or I think he was only.
So
I think
he was both.
Yeah, both DNs.
Off?
Yep. Man. I'm jealous because I think that's a fantastic pick. I would, like I said, I would have been thrilled if it was 10 picks earlier.
Is this him playing wide receiver?
Yeah, it is. Greg, I couldn't agree more, man. I think.
Yo, look at him play wide receiver. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's athletic. So 6'7", no joke. We needed the pass rushing. We got a guy in the first round now, and somebody that many probably thought was not going to make it there. So that is a plus for the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
You heard it here first. Greg said he would have taken him 10 picks earlier. So is this a steal of the draft? It could be. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe not. Probably. But hey.
I honestly, man,
it could be the steal of the draft.
I don't know if it's the steal of the draft. But I'm going right up there with saying that it is one of the best valued picks in the draft to this point.
Round, yeah.
To this point, yes.
Yep.
The steal of the draft usually happens in the third or the fourth.
Well, what
round.
I meant, steal the first round.
Okay.
Steal the first round.
Yes.
Because to me, I've seen a lot of reaching. I've seen at least 3 or 4 teams reach.
Yes, which
in
is
my opinion.
It's helped us.
Yeah, they've reached. I've seen teams just draft for need. We talked about the Cardinals drafting Xavier Collins for need. It's not that Collins wasn't good. It's just his value was lower, so they just reached and picked him up.
And Eric Stokes, the last corner that was just taken right before Greg Rousseau.
Exactly.
Hey, Gregory Rousseau, welcome to Buffalo.
Welcome
We're
to
happy to have
Buffalo,
you,
bud.
man. This is gonna be phenomenal having this kid here to learn from a guy like Jerry Hughes, learn from a guy like Mario Addison, be able to step right into this rotation that we have, keep him fresh, keep him healthy, hopefully, and not to mention there's already some young talented guys with Ed Oliver, with Harrison Phillips on that line. It's just going to be a lot easier for him to be able to acclimate to what we do here, I think.
So, just out of curiosity, did the Ravens trade up back into the first round?
No, this was the trade for their offensive lineman with the Chiefs.
Okay.
Orlando Brown, right?
Orlando Brown, yep.
Yeah, this was the Chiefs pick. Oh.
Yep, 6'7". I'm excited. I bet you Sean McDermott's excited. I think Leslie Frazier's excited.
I think Leslie Frazier's jumping up and down right now.
This is the kind of guy where you can have some really exotic sub packages.
Yes.
With the athletic ability that he has, they're playing wide receiver. I mean, if this guy's quick enough to line up at linebacker in a 3